It's a good thing to be here and to be with you guys. And I hope tonight we're going to be having a nice, smooth journey. Why? Because I believe it's going to be smoother because I know that I'm talking to people who already have an idea of everything we want to talk about tonight. So that makes my job easier. I don't have to like explain like a kindergarten, isn't it? Well, and also while we'll be on this, any area you think you you have questions, you can put it up and let me know as well. So at least maybe that will kind of supplement everything we'll be talking about to make it a whole form of knowledge. Okay. I will try to be as fast as possible because the topics may look so small. Yet, yes, we'll try to simplify them, but they're more in depth. So we'll try as much as possible, not to take much time. All right. Now I'm going to be, of course, we all do. I'm Ismail Abdulmodiu. I'm called the mentor Ismail, and I'm a member of IM Academy, a happy one, and also a member of Trailblazer. And we've been on with the belief of what the academy has to offer us, the future and everything in there. Now, but before we go on, I'd like to start from the. I don't know if you've seen the outline of what we'll be discussing tonight. Well, of course, we'll be touching, should I say, three areas or maybe two in one and then one on one. Now, the first area we'll be touching is our IBO, like should I say everything we're doing in total, like what we represent, you know. So the IBO, you know, wrapped up in the trading, you know, and also being profitable and then embodied in the 90 days game plan. Okay. So kind of put all this together as a link and also, you know, these are the things we'll be talking about. Then we'll, the way to simplify them. Okay. Now, whatever I'm telling you tonight is something that I've actually been practicing for a while because that's what I usually do before I spit it out or tell people about things. I tried for myself. Then second stage is I duplicate it into some few mentees and then I see their results. When I get consistency from there, then I bring it out and then okay, we can look at this. Okay. Just so every day we look forward to making things better, isn't it? Now, let's get into business of the day. Um, I'm sorry, I will be going into a little bit of science, okay? But don't worry, it's gonna be simple, okay? We'll make it simple, break it down. Now, and this has to do with our business, okay? Entire business, okay? Now, I first let me ask if you can hear me from your end, please. Can I see you put a one to the chat box? I just want to be sure I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I want to be sure I have to have people traveling with me. All right. Okay, good. All right, sharp. That's good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now, I won't ask this question because I would have asked this question to ask, okay, how many of us are familiar with this? That would be partial because some of us are not even science students. So why should I ask? So I'll just go straight to the point. Now, there's this thing in science which we call momentum. Momentum. Now, and actually something that everybody now knows because you can use it in normal day-to-day thing. We use it every day, momentum, you know. But why I want to use science to explain it is because at least that's the background of the name of that word, momentum. The background is from physics, science, and then when you look at the background, maybe it will help us understand what we should be doing actually, or what we should focus on. You know, there are some things that there are some areas we need to put 80%, areas we need 20%. You understand? In entire thing we do. You know, why am I saying that? Because the areas that need 80%, that need 80% is so important that when you put in the 80%, automatically it runs the 20% on its own in a way that it will be so easy, like you get. So one is more important because it's actually the main thing, okay, is the evidence. So now going back to momentum. Now, when we talk of momentum, we all know what we relate it to in our businesses, you know, when the business is moving high, when everything is going booming and all that. But let's come from physics angle now. Now, you know, for those of us who did physics in school, you remember that they said, you know, momentum is represented with letter P. You understand? And it means they'll say, well, I'm sorry, don't be bored though, don't worry, it will make sense to everyone, okay? Equals MV, okay? Now the P is represented as that's momentum. That's what is being represented by the P. Okay, because the name of the founder of the theory, the name is Pascal or something. Yeah. Now this momentum equals mv. What is m? M is mass. M is mass. Okay. Now when you say mass, you're talking of what? You're talking of weight. You're talking of weight and quantity. In other words, you're talking of something density, how heavy, how thick, how quality. If you're going to relate it to layman's time, like if you want to look at it in layman's time, isn't it? Then when you talk of velocity, which is the V now, velocity, which is the V, equals speed and direction. Talks about speed and direction, means that, how long it takes for the movement, in what direction, speed and direction. Like I said, don't be bored. I'm bringing up a point. Now, so what this means is when you see equal in physics or mathematics, it's just saying directly proportional. It means without momentum, there won't be mass or velocity. Without mass velocity, there's nothing called momentum. So what does that mean? That means if these two are not in place, then there's no momentum. Right. Now let's bring it down. Now, if you look at the word mass, weight, and density, what can we call this in normal term, in the layman's term? We talk about quality, isn't it? We talk about quality. We talk about quantity and quality. Yeah, that's what I would say. Quantity and quality, which means we talk about the number of people and how effective. Do you get what I'm saying now? I hope some of us are with, not some of us, I hope all of us are with our notes. When we talk of mass in our business, in relation to physics, we're talking about weight. So that weight is talking about what? Effectiveness. That's quality. Quality of the person. Okay? Effectiveness plus what? Or let me say effectiveness, yeah. And then talk about the quantity. That's the number of people in your team and how effective they are. That's what the mass is. The velocity is talking about what? The velocity is talking about this. Whoa. Sorry, I'm typing. I'm supposed to be using a whiteboard, but I'm not the main host. So the velocity is supposed to be the speed that we said and direction. So how fast you grow. Some of us, when we joined the academy, before sharp, you got like 3 persons, 4 persons, easy recruits and all that. By the time you recruit, that is speed. Like you become P150, P600, P1000, like that, P2000, P5000. You could just go on and on. In fact, some can go as far as Chairman 10, right? Okay, I think I'm the host now. Okay, yeah, but let me just finish this and send it to the group like that. So now that is speed. Now this speed, it is not as important as which direction you are speeding to. Just like that saying, no matter how fast you're running to Ondo State, you can never get to Imo State, isn't it? Because yes, you are running fast, but the direction is different, and the direction will nullify the speed. Because at the end of the day, the speed is just a waste of time and waste of fuel, waste of journey. Because the speed is good if only you are going to the right direction. Now, in our academy, right now, all of you as leaders, you know why this meeting is important? Because we are the leaders. We are the ones, we are the coaches of the group. We are already team leaders. The day you have one person in your team, you have become a leader. Okay? Now, as I was saying, the velocity is talking about the speed. Oh, sorry, I used speeding. Speed, that's what I wanted to write. Just, okay. So speed and what direction? So which means as one is running, as you're getting people in and all that, meaning you are going in the right direction. Now, what is the right direction? Following the blueprint of the company such that there will be retention, there will be growth, real growth. When this is happening, then your speed will be justified. You get what I'm saying? Now, how can you do this? How can you do this now? So let's talk about it. First, when we say momentum, it means you're able to, before the momentum will happen, number one, the number of people you have in your team, they will be effective, which means, of course, these are people who subscribe. And what will make people subscribe? Now, that's where the direction now comes in. What will make people subscribe? When they know the product and they use the product and they're profitable with the product. That will make them to be effective, which is subscription. You see how Velocity and Mars work together now? Now, when this happens, your speed of bringing people in will be justified. So it won't be a situation whereby you speed, you get enough quantity, but the quantity are not effective because they have no direction. I hope we all can get this link. If you get what I'm saying, can you put a 2 to the chat box, in the chat box, please? Can you put a 2 in the chat box if you get what I mean? I can rephrase again. Hello? I'm sure you get what I mean. Let me see a 2 in the box. If you don't get it, put a 3. If you don't get it, put a 3. All right, good. Good. All right. That's good. That's good. I hope. Good, good, good. So meaning this is why I'm happy with this meeting, because I know a lot of leaders are here already. So what I'm saying in essence is this: we need to what? We need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to get real momentum. Now, saying again, the real momentum happens when what? When the number of people that are joining the team are effective, which means in learning, in practicing, and in profiting. And when that happens, you know, that means they are in the right direction and there will be speed. And then you can consider this a momentum, because momentum is just what? When the group of number of people, now we're putting the layman's term now, group of number of people are doing the same thing, okay, increasing in numbers, moving very fast and in the right direction, then that's when momentum happens. And you know what momentum is? Momentum is something that happens that is beyond your control, which means you can sleep as a P600 and you wake up, you check your back office the next day, you already see yourself as a 2000 without stress, without struggle. You don't even have to know when it happens, because automatically it is happening because everybody is being treated right and they're seeing what they're actually looking for. Now, this is exactly what brought us to the whole thing. So what can we do to make this right? First thing I want us to understand in network marketing. Now, let me share my whiteboard since I'm the host now. Okay. So the whiteboard, of course, I'm using a phone, so my fingers, I don't know if they will fit into the board, but still just manage it. Okay. Now, what exactly do we do? What is the solution? Okay, to have a sustainable business, to really enjoy the smooth of this business, like the transition of this business. The solution is simple. What we need to do is, first of all, to look for something that so simple, that's so simple. See what I'm saying? Big, maybe my finger, so mighty, I don't know. Okay, so simple. 1 minute, please. What's going on? Okay, all right. Let me just say it. So simple that anyone can duplicate. So simple that what anyone can duplicate. Now, anything that you are doing in this type of business that is not simple, that people cannot duplicate, that anyone cannot pick up and do, then it is not MLM. It is not what? Network marketing. Then it is not our business. And then when we do such things that is opposite this, we struggle. Then you have very few people that stay. Even the ones that stay, become more complicated and they make more things more complicated. And then before you know it, everybody's everywhere, no direction, no, how do I put it now? No plan, no blueprints. And then people get tired, get bored, get fizzled out, and then we start all over again. Okay? Now, in order to prevent all of this and start anew, to have a very beautiful beginning, is the reason why we're having tonight's session. Okay? Now, so for us to have something simple and duplicable, remember, and I know most of you must have reasoned this before. Have you noticed that when we recruit, when we bring in people in this, okay, like some of you that are here today, if you check the people you signed up with the same day, maybe the same day you get recognized in the launch girl group, there were other people that probably were recognized that same day. And you and I will agree that the level of speed that you use in catching up with all the learnings and teachings that now 90% of you here now are now coaches who can now teach other people, you know. Why don't we have others that came in the same time as you doing the same thing as you're doing right now? Why? Because why? We all have different pace at learning and catching up. Some of you are born intelligent. You can catch up anything very fast. Why some are not? And in this type of business, is a business for everyone who is willing and ready. So in other words, there's no criteria to whether you're intelligent or not. It has to be something that everyone. So that's why we said, okay, since it's a business for everyone, it has to be something that everyone can do. Simple and straight to the point. And I will tell you that IM Academy is actually thinking in that way. And that is why we have these things that we're about to discuss tonight. Now, have you wondered that in IM, when you come in, the first thing you'll be introduced to after knowing the basic are those apps, scanners, whereby all you just need to do, they do the big work for you, all the dirty work, all the chatting, all the everything. All you just need to do is go there, learn how to recognize how to take trades from these apps or scanners, take those trades, win your money, and feel good. Yeah, have you noticed that? For example, look at the swipe option. You don't even have to do anything, anyways, as a beginner. So all you just do is go there, pick the trade, but know how to pick the trade, know how to check the timing, know how to check the strategy to confirm, and then you take it. What about the swipe coin? The same thing. You know, what about the levels? What about the DeLorean? What about Gold Cup? All of these things are designed because they know as a beginner, your job is to what take things easy, step by step. But while you're doing that, you make money. So you can't make money if it's too complicated and everything is complicated. So that is why I'm going to be kind of distorting some rules, okay, as in putting out some complicated things out of what we want to discuss tonight, and then leaving the simple thing in. And whatever I'm telling you tonight, I've tried it out and it's so working. And I'll prove it to you. Thank God that most of you too know about trading already, so you'll see what I'm going to be talking about. Okay. Now, so remember, because I want to round that part up now. Remember, the reason we are doing this is what? Is to be able to build our business and build what? Build momentum in our business, right? Momentum. So I'm not going to write the full one, which means P in science, right? Momentum, right? Now, for us to build the momentum, remember, what do we need to do? We need, yes, people, but these people have to be effective. But they cannot be effective if they are not profitable, which is the direction now. If they are profitable, now what is direction? Direction is the only way we make people stay, the only way we make people happy, the only way people will subscribe without even being told, the only way people will even cannot do without even subscribing is when they are profiting from the system. The only way they will profit from the system is when they learn and know how to use the system. That's the direction now. And when the direction is in place, what follows? The speed will be very, very abrupt. And when the speed is there, then it becomes a momentum, which means massive number of people with right knowledge moving in the right direction with the speed of light. That's what we call momentum. And that will never happen if any of this thing is missing. Okay? Now, so let's go straight to the business of the day. Now, to do that, I need one of you to help share his or her screen because I want to go into the now. Forgive me, we will not be going into. I believe everybody here knows swipe. Now, if you don't know how to use swipe option, of course, that's very ridiculous to be asking here. I know, but just for asking sake, don't let me assume. If you are here, you don't really know how to use swipe option. Please, can I see? Okay, no. If you can use swipe option, can I see a five in the group in the group chat? Five, because I can't ask if you cannot. I know there is no one, but don't let me assume. If you are here, just be free and tell us, okay? We'll refer you to a video in class. Good. Five. So everyone here, I want to assume, yeah, everyone here can use swipe option. So let's just use our time well. Good. So we use our time well. We don't need to go to the broker and all that. We use our time well by going straight to the strategy. Right? All right, good. So I need more five to be more convinced. Anyway, we're gonna have six. We are 20 something, right? Five, more five, please. If you can use the swipe option, your broker, at least you know the rollover, you know double up, you know all those stuff. You know how to check your time on your broker, you know, all these ones here. Now, so we move to the what? To the strategy, right? Now, what are we going to be studying in strategy? Of course, I know that majority of you know the strategy already, but we want to be looking at some intricacies, some nitty-gritty, some things that are probably maybe some of us maybe probably overlook and all that. Things that we can use to make it simple for the new ones and they'll take trades and all that. Let me tell you a secret, or maybe I'll tell you a testimony, all right? So I have some mentees that I use as my guinea pigs. When I say guinea pigs, of course, you all know like what I mean. So after using the strategy for myself, I said, okay, let me use these new ones for this strategy. Let me see how it goes. Guess what? It was a big success. In fact, I will tell you from my experience, my time in IM Academy, with all the knowledge we've impacted in a lot of people, so far, this is the best time of my life in terms of when newbies will come in and have personal results. I'm not talking about the number of people they bring in and all that, as in talking about trading themselves and developing their account, okay, from small level to the high level. Okay, I have about, let's say, out of the all of them, and about 4 of them that are consistent and they have huge results, you know. So like one is from 154 USD. Tomorrow we'll be making 1,000 USD, and that's he started signed up on July 18th, 18th of July. And do you know the best thing? Best about this people? You know the best thing about these people? The best thing about these people is when we talk, they talk like people who have been trading for long. You'll be hearing something like, you know, when I came in, I didn't see the setup that I like. I left. You know, when I came, I didn't see the setup that I like. You know, I didn't see the setup that I like. You know, and when they say things like that, it makes you know that these guys know what they are saying or doing. You understand? All right. So I need someone to share their screen and go straight to the strategy, please. Oh, okay. First, all right, good. Thank you, Chairman L. God bless you. All right. I need someone to. All right. All right. Thank you. Now, so what we want to look at, remember, now I'm going to be aligning this. I'm going to be putting it in sequence of how it's supposed to, how we look at it or how it's supposed to work, okay? Or how the academy actually intends for us to use it, okay? Now, do you know, first of all, I want to ask you, do you know that, or do you believe that without without knowing how to chat, I'm not saying not knowing how to chat is a good thing. I mean, it's not even a bad thing though. Also, it's not a good thing as a beginner. I'm talking about as a newbie. Do you know that without knowing how to chat, without knowing how to chat, you can actually use the strategy to take your trades and make wins? Do you believe that? If you believe, can you put A to the chat box? Put A in the chat box if you believe. But if you don't worry. Be free. Just tell me if you don't worry. At the end of the day, we'll all be aligning like the strategies. Okay, good. 8, good, 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 good. Now, thank you. All right. Now, you know, because sometimes I'll just sit, I'll like, okay, why would why would the academy create a scanner for you to take your trades? If not to tell you what to do, you understand? How to do them, when to do them, and then putting it all together and going ahead to take your trade. Just so you know, in the normal trading world, if you have even 30% success, is a great score for a beginner. Then 50%, 60% is a very excellent score for an expert. I mean, people are very good. You understand? Which means 60, 70 is a very great score, right? But with apps, for me, I've done this research. I've checked it 1 week backward. I've checked it 1 month backward, to check the consistency and all that. Just there was a research I did about several times. I did that on swipe option alone. I checked how many wins and how many losses or lessons. And guess what? At the end of the day, I see like minimum I've seen, the worst I've seen so far was 79% compared to the wins. And when you compare the losses to the wins, 79%. Most 84, I've seen 90, like that. I did weekly, I did daily, I did 2 weeks, and I did a month. And I even made the video and I posted it on some of my social media just to show people that what we do here, we're not just talking, we're not just showing results or picking results from people's pages. We have what it takes. Okay. Now, so since we all believe this, now let's look at it. So, which means, if you agree with me, which means if a newbie, sometimes when you have a newbie and they're in the academy, sometimes they work. Some the timing and the education, the go live sessions, most times don't really kind of how do I put it, like aligned. Maybe some of them will be at work at that time, or even when they are not really at work, maybe they are free or they have some of their free time. This is the feedback I get, anyways. When they are on the session, they don't know how long the session would go for. So when they stay like 20, 30 minutes, Of course, they have to do some stuff in the office, get called by the boss. Before you know, they will leave. By the time they get back, they'll be seeing people saying they clear. And these are the things they tell me. And guess what happens from my own experience? Later on, they stay in a month in the subscription without trading or making anything per se. And then the next one, they were like, sorry, maybe when I'm on leave, or sorry, when these, it's like, all these things are problems. So I started thinking, what can we do to solve this problem? What can we do to make people be in control of their academy in such that you wake up anytime, you know that you are free, you take your trade for the day, and then you're done? That was when I started looking at the strategy. I was like, okay, let's look at it. What can happen? Now, I was talking to someone. Someone now told me, he was telling me that, oh, but do you think without them knowing how to put the what they call the horizontal lines for daily, for daily, for hourly, for 30 minutes, what's it called? Yeah, for daily, for hourly, for 15 minutes and the 5 minutes, like the double blessing strategy, right? Do you think they will have perfect entry points? And then I asked the question and I answered the question. I said, okay, see, if all these things were taken, why do you think they take these things? Why do we think they take all these time frames? Why do you think so? The simple reason why they do that is this. When you are on the chart and you want to take entry points, there are some times this reversal will happen on different time frames. It may happen on the support of a 5 minute time frame. Sometimes it happens on what? The support of what? Or the resistance of a 15 minutes time frame. Now, the only way without you tracing back, before if you're trading Forex, you know what you do? You have to go backwards to check all the history and check where the supports and resistance that have happened in the past, right? You want to check those ones to align it with the present ones. So when you do that, you don't need to check all the time frames. But the time you spend in going backward to check all the resistance and supports and all that to align it with the one in front, all those reasons are the reason why our educators always use, okay, let's just go by the previous candles, the top of the previous candle and the bottom of them, both the wick and the body. You understand? And with that, they get their entries, right? But the strategy is now telling you that, hey, electronically, by the power of algorithm, which is indicators, all of these things are already being shown to you. Every line you see here, both the red and the green, which we'll be pointing out very soon, are already telling you all the things that have happened in the past. Do you get? So all you need to do now is pick your entry point. But based on what? Based on all the other confluence, that all the other things will be given to you, which we call confluence, which means they bring it together of different points. When all of these things comes together and they align, they synchronize, then you take the trade on the right time and then you make your money. So this is exactly what the strategy is for. So which means without even going to your trading view, only on this, like for me these days, because whatever I want to teach, I like to use them myself. If I'm going to teach you like a kindergarten, I want to study like a kindergarten, such that I want to do away with what I know for a while and do exactly what I'm going to be teaching. So we'll all be on the same page. You understand? So for a while I've been doing this and I tell you it's been awesome. Okay? Now, so we're going to go into it. Just so for you now, most of it's going to be like a review because you already know this already. So let's look at it. What are those things we look at before we start using this strategy? The first thing you want to know, of course, so we write this. You know why I said this? Because when we'll be talking to our people, our members, we have to follow this sequence. Very important. So the first thing you want to know is, oh, I want to take these trades. I want to take these currencies. I want to take pairs. Which one should I take? You don't know which one to take, right? But what you want to take is the one that the market says is good. You don't want to go anything against the market, isn't it? The market is your direction, isn't it? So the best way to know which currency to take is what? By checking the news, right? So we check the news. Now, when we check the news, can you go to the news, Forex Factory? Now, when we teach our people about the news, so long it has to do with binary, we don't need much information as to a beginner. All we just need to tell them is any currency you see at a particular time that you want to trade that is in the news, avoid them. Okay. So okay, first before you go on, can you change the timing on the what's it called? The timing? No, not that, not the time frame. I mean the main time. Change it to UTC +1. I mean the clock should be at the bottom, somewhere around the bottom right of your screen. Yeah, I think that is where you have the time, UTC. That is, yeah. So change it to Lagos. Always remember to change this so at least you can Lagos is down. Just scroll down. Yeah. Yeah, bring the scroll down. Yeah. Yeah. Hold and drag down. Yeah. Yeah. That's cheapest. That's Lagos. Yeah. Always remember, it changes every time you leave the page. Okay. So always remember to put it back. So when you do this now, you have the time. So you change this time now. You go to Forex Factory. Go to the Forex Factory. So the first thing you do is what? You change the time. The second thing you do is go to Forex Factory. That's forexfactory.com. No, you type it on your address bar.
Yes, Zoom is disturbing my.
Okay, you are using a touchpad. I get. You're using a touchpad, right? Not a mouse.
I'm actually using the laptop here.
Yeah. Is it a mouse you attach to your laptop or the touchpad of the laptop?
The touchpad of the laptop.
Oh, that's why. Okay, no problem. Don't worry. At least I believe everybody here know what the Forex Factory, right? Now, so when you go to the Forex Factory, sorry for these assumptions, just for us to be faster and all that. These are easy things, okay? Normally, when you go to the Forex Factory, the first thing you want to do, you want to check the time, okay? You want to check the time and making sure that, okay, for example, what time is it now? What time is it now? Past 9, right? Can't really see. Okay, let me check it from here. 9:44, right? Now, let's say you are at the Forex Factory. You want to check 9:44. Thank you, Chairman Obi. So you want to check 9:44. You want to look out, is there anything at all on 9:44? Now, if there's any news on 9:44, how would you know? The part that has the news, they will list out the type of news and what currency is affected by it. Okay? Now, we don't care about what news. We don't care about what is happening as a newbie for now. This is not the real Forex, okay? Forex trading. This is binary, right? All you need to know as long as binary is concerned is what are the currencies mentioned in this news. If they mention JPY, write it down. If they mention USD, write it down. If they mention anything they mention, just write them down as at that same time. That's which means if they say 9:44 and these are the ones in the news or anything around there, you write them down. So when you write them down, you leave the factory. The next place you go to is the currency strength meter. Now, normally I would say come to the currency strength meter, the one we have on the what's it called, on the strategy, which of course you must use. You always use, of course. But with what I experienced today, there was a lag in the what's it called, the currency strength meter of the strategy. That's the market trap. So which I never knew. So I was logging in and logging out like, oh, I've not seen the setup. The setup is not clear yet until Kenry came up and now made us know that, oh, sorry, the market trap. Okay, you're not seeing Lagos, you're seeing Dubai. No, okay, on your own screen, right? No, when you go to, you see, just scroll down. I think it's after, like you see, just check L from the beginning. You see Lagos. UTC, anything you see UTC plus one, even if it's not Lagos, UTC plus one is still the same. That's just like GMT plus one. Yeah, yes. So as I was saying, now because I realized that sometimes we have issues with the current strength meter. So it's always good to use double confirmation for it. Because when I went to the currentstrendmeter.com, it was doing the same. It was acting like the one we have on the strategy. But when I went to the one.co.uk, it was showing exactly what was going on. That was Euro USD when it was talking about Euro USD. So since when I realized that today, I used that as my guide all through today, and I took smooth trade, and it was smooth all through. And the joy when you take trades and 90% of the time is always clear. You meet your target every day, especially the 90 days. It's all about the 90 days, right? All right. So number 2 is what? Okay, number 1, change the timing on your strategy. Number 2, check the news. Number 3, go to the current strength meter. Now, let's just look at the current strength meter now. Now, why do we need to check the current strength meter? This is the blueprint. This is the foundation. Now, it's just like you want to build a house. And then you're like, oh, I want to build a duplex. The moment you mention the word duplex, an engineer knows exactly what amount, what strategy, what cement, what blocks, and then what to envisage, the kind of picture they will have in mind. They already have the end, what they call it, having the end in mind. Sorry, having the end in mind, isn't it? Because you mentioned duplex. But if you mention the bungalow or just a what do you call it, 2-story building, 1-story building, whatever it is you mention is what matters. That determines the frame of every other thing. That's exactly how the currency strength meter is. The current strength meter is like your direction, like your compass that says, okay, this is the way the market is going right now. Now, the moment you see the currency strength meter, every other thing you will follow must be aligned with the currency strength meter. Now, sometimes people ask me these questions that, coach, sometimes we are going for, the current mentor is saying a put. By what? By looking at the strength of the pairs. But on the strategy, we're having a call and it's giving me 5. Don't take it. It is not about the scoreboard. It is not about the point alone. As a matter of fact, the point and every other thing are just integral part of the current strength meter, because the current strength meter is what tells you what is going on in the market. And if this is what is going on in the market, every other thing should follow. The trend line should follow. Everything should follow. Are we together? So the third thing you check is what? Current strength meter. So let's say, for example, let's take an example. Let's say we're going for, now, when it comes to current strength meter, always make sure you take pairs that have gaps in between, at least 20, 25 difference, 20 points, 25 points, 20 points difference, okay? So for example, let's look at Odd Chef now, assuming they are not in the news. Odd Chef, Odd is 24, Chef is 60. This is a good gap, it's a good gap. Is a good gap for 5 minutes or even for 15 minutes, a good gap, right? So let's click on that, click on that. Now, the moment you click on this, now you are deciding that this is the direction you want to go. Now you are saying, this is duplex I'm building. This is whatever you are building. You are telling the engineer. Now the engineer will now say, okay, since this is what you are building, these are the things we need for this. And anything outside these things that are going to be preparing for you, it won't give you this result anymore. Okay? So now, guys, this is the beginning of the game. So you already have your current strength meter. What is the next thing you want to check? Now you want to go to the market and see all the things that look like the instrument or ingredients that befit the currency strength meter you're looking for or you're looking at. So the first thing you want to check is the super trend. The super trend. The second thing you want to check is the EMA. The EMA. The third thing you want to check is the arrow. The arrow. The fourth thing you want to check are the support and the resistance. That's the ceiling and the roof and the ceiling, which we call the support and the resistance. Now, in this contest now, the roof are represented with red. The floors are represented in green. Okay, don't worry. We'll deal with them, one after the other, based on which direction we are going. Okay, so the red is what Chairman Ebi is touching right now. That's the roof. Then the floor is the green. That's the green. Touch the green now. The floor, which is the, so another name for the floor is the support. Another name for the roof is resistance. Of course, as you can see, it's already shown in the chart. One is stopping the growth. The other one is supporting the growth. So the one that is stopping the growth from going upward is the red one, which is the ceiling. Like when they say, oh, there's a ceiling above everyone here, which means this is the level you can go. You can't go as far as this, isn't it? So that is one stopping them from going up, while the one that is pushing them to go up is the support, the one at the floor. So it's the floor that bounces them upward. And while they are on their way up, the roof stops them from going up and send them backward, downward, sorry. So the roof is the red line, which we call the resistance, okay? That's the resistance line. While then the green is the support, which we call the floor, okay? That's the next one you check. The next one after that, you want to check the buy and sell zone. What do I call it? The buy and sell zone. Can you bring your cursor downwards to where you see the B? Now that line you touch there, the green line you touch there is for the buy. Whenever you see the green line and the buy, it's telling you that there are a lot of money in the market that belongs to the buyers. And that creates a very huge momentum for the buyers. And anyone with the momentum, just like the train, when you see the train moving, everybody clears their way. Nobody stops the train, isn't it? Except maybe you put magnets somewhere along the railway line and all that. But any other thing cannot stop the train, right? So the same thing, when the buyers are more in the market, you see the B. And then the red line you see beneath the B is for the sellers. When the sellers are more in the market, you see the S. And you notice something? The B is attached to the green line, while the S is attached to the red line. Whichever one is having more momentum will be taking the lead here, will be in front on the right side where Coach Ebi just left now. Okay. So anyone you see, come further right, the last one on the right. Anyone you see at that part is the one that is having the highest momentum at the moment in terms of the volume of money in the market, the liquidity. That's what they use for it, right? Then after that, you want to check another thing. What do you want to check? Stochastic. That's the black line you see in between the red line and the green line. And what is a stochastic? Of course, looking at the name, what does it really do? The stochastic help you to measure the number of buyers moving, taking decisions, piling up their money. I mean, not buyers, sorry, buyers or sellers taking decision, piling up their money to place orders. You know, when you go to some, for some of us who use Binance and we use what's it called? Any exchange where you buy cryptocurrency and all that. You see this kind of thing whereby, in fact, not just exchange, even on your MetaTrader 4, yes. You know, you see those green and blue lines, green and blue. When you see a price, it's showing in red and blue, bid and ask, all those stuff. Yeah. So those are like what we're talking about, the bidding and asking. Yes, the order book, God bless you, like a ledger. Thank you. Now, so when these orders are filled up, this is what the stochastic measures. So when the ones for sale has more orders, the black line moves towards the red. When the one for buy has more orders, it moves towards the green. So that's the word of stochastic, just like measuring the number of orders in the market where it's actually belong. Then the last one you see there, which is similar to the first, to the one we're on now, is the RSI, the relative strength index. Of course, looking at the word relative strength index. So this is telling you about the strength of the market now. Where is it moving to? Is it the buyers owning the market now based on all the statistics, or the sellers? So if it's the buyers, the RSI will move to the green. If it's the sellers, it moves to the red. Okay, these are the pointers. Now, we're going to be talking about these pointers. Now, what do you now check to summarize, to now determine the last thing that you use in determining whether to take the trade or not? And that's the timing. The timing. We use the time. Now, why do we use this time? Now, when it comes to binary trading, okay, the height of time you want to use on binary trading, that is the most realistic one, which is usually that is recommended by every binary trader or professional expert, is 5, or let's say 3. Some use 2, but they always say 3, 5, and 15 minutes. Okay. Also, with these 15 minutes, so the idea of the 15 minutes is that when yes, that was a network issue. Sorry, I was out for a while. Yes, I was out. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? All right, good. So as I was saying, so the idea of what was I even saying? God. All right. What was the last thing I said before I left? Who can remind me of the last thing I said before I left? Okay, I was talking about the timing. God bless you. Yeah, the timing. So 15 minutes is always recommended to set as the interval time, like the timing, that's the interval timing, like something that you use to check when is the right time or a fully ripe time to take your trade. Now, this timing plus all these things are actually what substitute for knowing the support and resistance, like knowing when, normally if you are using the support and resistance strategy, you have to put your horizontal lines to know exactly what point or what price to enter. But when it comes to market trap strategy, is your timing that is important, because every area that has been marked for you are already markups. You already have markups. Every red and green you see are markups for you. Every red and green you see are already markups, important areas for you. You've seen both the past and the present already in all this arena. So what is remaining is the time at which you take this trade. Those gives you your perfect entry. So for me, now, get me right. For me, I always make sure I only take my time, my trade based on this timing. And that is why. So another thing, what the timing will replace for you is setting an alert on the, what's it called, on TradingView. Some people cannot Some cannot as a beginner. They can't subscribe maybe on the trading view. They don't even know how to use the trading view like so and all that. But do you know that all that have been moved away with the help of the timing and this strategy? Because all I do is I check my time. Anytime it's 2:15, my mind will be like, man, a trade is about to set up right now. Or maybe it's 2:11, 2:12. I'm so used to that 15-minute stuff now. So what am I saying before I go too far? Timing. The best time to take your trade are first o'clock, anything o'clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Anything o'clock. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is like hourly. Okay? Hourly. So anything o'clock. Hope you get me right. The next best time after that is 15 minutes after o'clock. So 15 minutes after any o'clock. 1:15, 2:15, 3:15, 4:15, like that. Then after that, if you miss that, then 30 minutes after that. Then 45 minutes after that. Then o'clock again, all over again. That's how the cycle goes. Okay, so the cycle goes that way. So it keeps going like from 15, from o'clock to 15 to 15 to 30, 30 to 45, 45 to o'clock again. Thank you very much. Yes. Always make sure that anytime, see, don't be. I've experienced a lot. I've lost money and I've made so much. I've been so patient to the effect I became humble to learn from this market. Do you know sometimes you are tempted to take trades in between these times? Because why? You see that, probably you've seen that the trade are actually looking like it's set up. Sometimes you even see the point. The points will give you, the pointers will give you, like the scores will give you 5 or 4, and then you go into the trade, and then it can reverse on you. Now, do you know why they chose this time? Because this time, there's always a very huge momentum. And I'll tell you why. When you do 15 minutes interval, taking 5 minutes trade is always having you in between. Of course, when the 15-minute trade is set up and is ready to move, it's going to move for the next 15 minutes, at least 14 minutes. So which means if you are taking your 5 minutes, you are safe in between. Do you get what I'm saying? Making sure that at least it's aligned. So that's why sometimes when I see some trades that are taking time to align, the moment where they'll be aligning, I will make sure I go to check both 15. I'll check my 15 minutes and then 5 minutes. I will explain all of this. I just want to tell you about the timing, okay? Now, let's now start like we want to take a normal trade. Now, if you want to take a trade, I mentioned all these points, but I've not mentioned how they look when it's a call or when it's a put, okay? Meaning how they will look when we are buying or when we are selling, okay? Now, so let's start. So meaning after checking your strength now, you now know all these points. So when it's a put, as we have in the case of a odd chef, what do we look at? When it's a put, the first thing you want to see your super trend. Can you touch the super trend now? Okay, first of all, how do you know it's a put? Sorry, how do you know it's a put? This is how you explain. Now, I know you all know this, okay? But, I'm just saying, maybe you're talking to a newbie. This is how I tell them. I don't want, because I try to avoid technical stuff. I just tell them, hey, anytime you see the first currency having a lower number in terms of their lower points than the second currency, when it comes to the pair, then that is a put or sell or downward trend or bearish market. I give them the several names they call them. But anytime you see the first currency that is showing a higher point than the second currency, then that is what? A call, which means a buy, which you can call a bullish trend or upward trend. Hope we get that right. Good. Now, so this time around, in the case of odd CHF, I asked the newbie, I say, based on what I just explained to you, what would you call this? And they will answer, they'll say, oh, it's a put, right? It's a put, right? They'll say it's a put. Now, remember, when you are dealing with strategy, don't mind the information, whether call or put, that you see on the alert panel, okay? The alert panel, yes, don't always mind. Do you know why? Because the job of the strategy, is a robot, right? It's a robot. Robots doesn't use there's not like common sense or emotion or anything, okay? What robot does is simple. Whenever it sees anything that is giving a direction, even if it's a reversal pattern or something, in every upward trend, there will be a reversal pattern, a retest, all those stuff ahead. So it gives you a call. Sometimes people take this kind of thing. For me, I don't take it. Well, you may win the trade, but then it's a bad win for me. You know what I call a bad win? When you do the wrong thing and you win, it's a bad win. I don't celebrate it. I don't celebrate indiscipline. I don't celebrate not following a strategy, because the best way to win or to make money is being a strategy trader, okay, isn't it? So now let's go back to our training. So the odd chef is telling us based on the strength that this is supposed to be a downward trend and is a put. So what are the signals? What are the things that makes us to know that this actually are aligned? Other things to look for before we take a trade to be sure that this is really going our direction. Number one, remember, what is number one thing we mentioned? Super trend, right? So can you touch the super trend? So when it comes to a put, the super trend will always be what? Up above the market. Meaning the super trend will always be above the market. Okay, remember super trend. It's simply telling you about the trend of the market. Okay, so anytime you see super trend being above the market, you see it turns red. Okay, when it's above the market, you see it turns red. That means it's a put. That means a downward trend, right? The next thing you want to check as a confirmation that must align with this super trend is the EMA, the black one, the black line cutting across. Yeah, the one cutting across. Yeah, yes. Now that black line, which is called the EMA, the EMA line must also be above the market. Must be above the market. Okay, must be forming above the market. So that is to show that what? It's also a downward trend. So the EMA, the super trend and the EMA must be above the market. Note, now as it is now, it is not above the market here, but we'll talk about that later. Because sometimes it's like this, but it's actually probably above when you check other time frames, but we're not there yet, okay? Oh, I missed one thing. Ah, guys, forgive me. That reminds me. I missed something very important. I'm very sorry, okay? Am I forgiven? Am I forgiven, please? Let me get it if I'm forgiven because this is a slight from this is a very big mistake. Oh no, I'm not forgiving. Oh, Basit, you are very you're not nice at all. You said no. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. All right. Now, sorry, before you the moment you check your trend, thank you very much. God bless you guys. Now, the moment you check your trend and you see that, oh, you see odd chef just changed. Okay. Now, the moment you see that the strength of the pairs is confirmed, the next thing you want to check is these four major time frames to see if all these time frames are following the strength, the currency strength meter. Okay. What do I mean? So when you check now, for example, now all the CHF has changed. Remember, the market is not the right time to trade right now. You know, it's just like the market is actually closed, virtually closed right now. So anything you see is just playing around. Okay. So now let's look at all CHF, right? Let's just believe what we see now. Okay, 60-10, which is showing a bullish trend, right? Which is upward trend. Now, before you go into any other thing, first thing you want to check is you want to check these major four time frames that we use based when it comes to binary. And what are those time frames? So where do you see those time frames? Look at where you have the 5M. So we want to check number one, 5 minutes. You want to check if this 5 minutes is aligning with the currency strength meter. Now, and how you will know it's aligning is simply the only thing I use is simply the super trend and the EMA. You want to check those two if they are above the market. So when you look at this 5 minutes now, okay, right now is we can't know because the market is really not going well. So even if it tells you a bullish, it can be going what's it called? Bearish. But let's just put it in our heads. Let's just imagine. Let us know the parameters. Let us know how it works. Okay, very important. So what you put in your notes now is this: whenever the first currency, man, these things are very they're not nice at all. They're just changing. Whenever the first currency is higher, remember that is what upward trend. And whenever the first currency is lower, that is downward trend. So let's say the first currency now is higher. What do you want to look out for? You want to make sure that that's an upward trend. So you want to make sure that the super trend and the EMA, if it's for upward trend, will be below the market. Okay. If it's for upward trend, it will be opposite of the downward trend. Remember, I said downward trend, they must be above, right? So let's go for upward now. Okay, let's just start with the upward. I'm sorry, let's just start with the upward. We're not using this because it keeps changing and all that. So just know that, write it in your notes that when the strength, when the market is bullish, which means the first currency is higher than the second currency, that is bullish, right? The EMA and the super trend must be below the market. Okay, below the market. But right now, you see this one is above, right? Below the market. Now, for 5 minutes, is it, you now check for 5 minutes if it's below or above. Now, if it is below for 5 minutes, that is confirmation number one. Then you go to the second time frame, which is what? 15 minutes. You want to check for 15 minutes now. Now you look at the super trend and the EMA. Is it below or above? Now you don't remember, if we are looking for a portrait, it's supposed to be below, right? Both of them are supposed to be below. But right now they are not below, but we check. Let's just assume for assumption's sake that both super trend and EMA are below the market price. If they are below the market price, yes, it's above here. Yes, yes. You know, the market is already closed. So we can't really get actual live what's it called? Readings now. We can't see anything now. Okay. I hope you understand, Basit. Let me get if you understand. Do you understand what we're doing? So what we'll do now is we just do a theoretical explanation. So which means in your notes, you just write, whenever it's a bullish trend, we expect the EMA and the super trend to be below the market. Okay, that's the market price. Okay, thank you, thank you. So now, but when you now know that at the back of your mind, you now know that. So what do you want to do? You want to check for the 4 time frames that I want to mention now to make sure that they all align. So for 5 minutes, you want to make sure that EMA and the super trend are below the market price. Then the 15 minutes also you want to check they are below the market price. Then the next one time frame is what? 1 hour. Go to the 1 hour, you check also. This is how I take my trade, and this is how my people, these are all the people I've worked with or have mentored on this thing. I tell you, this is what they do. Without me, they just send me results every morning. As if it's magic. Even me sometimes I could just believe myself that the newbies are taking trades and win. All right. But that doesn't mean 100%, Can't have 100% the market. All right. So now the 1 hour, you must check, they must what? The super trend and the EMA must be below the market price. Then you check the daily, that's 1 day. I hope all of us are paying attention to this. You write them down. Okay, don't worry. Tomorrow you see the live market. Just follow through what you have in your notes. You get it right. Okay. So you go to the daily. Maybe are you at the daily? So you check the daily and want to make sure that also the daily is aligning, which you are hoping that is the EMA and the super trend are below the market price. But now you have 4 time frame. How many time frame? 4. 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and daily. Now, even if you don't have the 4, if you can have 3 out of 4, according to our educators, if you can have 3 out of 4, then you can stay with that currency. So now let's start again so you understand. What are the criteria to choosing your pair that you want to trade? Number one, the news. Make sure that you check the news. Any currency you see in the news, avoid them in your choice of pairs that you want to choose. Okay. Second is what? The strength of the market itself. You want to check the currency strength meter. Why? Because that is what tells you whether you are going for an upward trend or a downward trend, whether you are going bullish or bearish, whether you are going for a call or a put, whether you are going for a buy or a sell. This is very important. Remember, as long as binary is concerned, there are only 2 types of market structure you follow. As long as binary is concerned, there are only what? 2 types of market structure you follow, which is what? Uptrend or downtrend. Anything consolidation, avoid such pair. Anything you see that is not really going up, neither is it going down, it's just moving between 1 point up and down like that, and it's moving on like a linear direction, avoid. Okay? See that word I'm using? I'm trying to see a stronger word that I will use. So it will ring in your head when you see it. Don't be tempted by how much you can make. Always remember how much you can lose as well. Okay? Always put in mind how much you can lose. Don't, in fact, go into your trade having in mind that how much, just think about, like this is a trade, okay? So when you think like that, that will make you to be like, okay, any trade that does not go with the strategy, it's better your money is staying the same than being minus, okay? All right, good. So anytime you see, so you only have upward or downward trend. Now, how do you know that? By checking the strength. So you see the way I'm arranging them now. The next thing you want to check after the trend now is to check for these two EMA and the what's it called, and the super trend. We want to check for the 4 time frames. We want to check these two, only these two first at first for the first time frame, okay? 4 time frame, which is what you want to check if this is aligning with the strength that you see. Because remember, you're trying to take a decision about whether to take this pair or not. Okay? You are trying to take a decision whether to take this pair or not. And to take that pair, what will determine is to check the news strength and then checking the super trend and the EMA of the 4 time frames, which is 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, and daily. And what are you checking out for? If it's a bullish trend, upward trend, the EMA and the super trend must be below the market price. If it's a downward trend, the bearish trend, the EMA and the super trend must be above the market price. The moment you confirm this, all you need for this is just 3 out of the 4. If you can get 3 aligning, out of the 4 time frames, you are good to go with that currency. Now, that doesn't mean you are good to go to enter the currency. So it is divided into 2 parts. I want you to write this down too now. See, it's divided into 2 parts. The first part is confirming whether to trade on this pair or not. That's the first stage, which these ones I've just mentioned now have cleared that, okay, this is a pair that I'm going to trade on. The remaining point is to determine when and where to enter. Are we together? The first is to determine whether or not you will even go to this pair. So it's just like you want to migrate to Canada. Okay. The first thing is whether or not you get the visa. Now, if you don't get the visa, you can't be in Canada, right? Now, but when you get a visa, you get to Canada. Now, the moment that is determined, you are now in Canada. There's nothing you can do. Now, Canada is assured to you. You are now in Canada. You have the visa. The next thing you want to check now is whether you get a citizenship or you'll be deported. That can still happen. So that is exactly what we have here. So it's divided into 2 parts. The first thing you want to check is which pair should I take? And how to check that is the news, the current strength meter, and confirmation of super trend and EMA on the 4 time frames. If you get that, please put the 7 in the chat. Then I will move to the remaining. Get that, put the 7 in the chat. Or if it makes sense to you at all. Because if I keep saying if you get that, it's like insulting your intelligence, because I know you guys are gurus. These are the people that make things happen here, isn't it? 7, all right, good. It makes sense. That's it. All right, good. All right, now let's go to the second part of it. Now we have agreed. Good. Which one is 778? Help me, you are confusing me. All right, let's go to the second part of the equation. The second part of the equation now is we want to now decide whether this pair, when to take it. Good. We want to know when to take it and where to take it. Now, these two, the remaining part is what represents your trading view alerts. It's what represents all those lines you draw here and there, all those. So people tell me, please, coach, I want to know how to do charting. It's good to know how to chart and all that, okay? But while you are learning the charting, because let me tell you the truth, it's not something you just learn all of a sudden like a crash program. You have to take your time learning it, practicing and all that. All this time, now sub is is moving. So what we are trying to prevent is whereby you join your first month and you spend all your time reading support and resistance, not trading or not making some money. There's what we call intrinsic motivation, the motivation that comes from inside. That's the best motivation ever. No matter how much I flash in your presence that, oh, see, I'm making 10 million, somebody's making 20 million, you'll be excited. You want to do everything. But the one that will excite you more is the one that you make yourself by yourself, especially when you are the one taking the trade. I tell you, you will not be able to sleep again. You keep falling in love with IM Academy. As in, you can break up with your present girlfriend and say you are in love with another girlfriend. I'm just joking on the lighter note. So, all right. So now let's go to the second part of the equation, which is the one that determines where and when. Now, so to look at those ones, now that's where the first thing you talk about after the EMA, remember. So we're talking about what? A bullish trend now. Sorry, I talked too fast, right? Forgive me, that's my nature, but let me calm a bit, okay? Now, so to really ascertain when and where to enter, now you need to check the remaining things now. Remember, we mentioned these few things before. So we want to mention them now based on what trend we are looking at, whether up or down. So let's talk about up. We are up first, right? Then we'll now go down trend. So for uptrend, remember, the EMA and the super trend must be below the market price. Then what happens? The next thing is the arrow. The arrow for an uptrend must be green, pointing up. Must be green, of course, pointing up, pointing direction that is supposed to go. So that is that. That's number 3, right? Or 4. Okay, currency strength, the super trend, then the EMA 3. Then the 4 is the arrow pointing up. Then the next one after that is the support and resistance, the floor and the ceiling. So which one do you consider when it's an uptrend? You consider what? The floor. Remember, the floor, the green. Remember, for you to go up, the floor will bounce you up. Okay? While the ceiling will stop you from going up and bounce you downwards. So for upward trend, prices must be bounced or must move from what? From a support zone, which is green zone. Okay, that is number 5, right? Then number 6. Number 6, remember the guy that those guys that measure the number of orders that we have in the order book. Okay, the ones that will tell us, oh, we have more orders for buying, oh, we have more orders for selling. Now that's the B and S. So for an upward trend, it must be B at the last end of the lines. Okay, so you see the B there now. That's another way to confirm that it's an upward trend, which means the order book, we have more orders for buying. Okay, for buying. Then the next one is stochastic. Remember the stochastic guy. Remember the stochastic guy, right? Good. So that is the one that what does it do? Can someone remind me what it does? I want to see if you really followed or you jotted anything at all. What did I say stochastic do? Anyone? Just put it in the chat box. I'll see. What does it do? Really? No. God, yeah. Thank you. Yes, measures the number of buyers and sellers. Thank you. That is what the stochastic does. So when you have more buyers and sellers, it goes what to the green. So that's what you expect. For a stochastic, for an upward trend, it comes to touch the green line. The green line. That's what you see for an upward trend. And also the last one is the RSI. For the RSI, what do you expect? Remember the RSI, relative strength index. Index. It tells us when there is so much purchases for the buyers and when there's so much purchases for the sellers. Now, what is it doing? It's pointing towards the green, and that's exactly what you expect. For an upward trend, the stochastic is telling you that, oh, the green has it. The green has it. Sorry, the RSI is telling you that the green guys, which is the buyers, they own the market. So if you look at all of these ones now, these ones are telling you that this is when. Okay, this is when. Okay, when to buy. When to buy is when the buyers are controlling the market, right? And what are the points to know whether the buyers are controlling the market? Of course, like I told you, by rephrasing again, number 1 will tell you that if these guys are controlling the market, you start from the arrow. The arrow will tell you that, oh, we are going up. You know, we've talked about super trend, right? We've talked about super trend and EMA. That one confirms whether I should take this pair or not. The rest, the arrow pointing up confirms that these guys are the owner of the market if it's going up and it's green. Then the supports and resistance, which is the floor. The support, if it's on the support, then it means it's telling you that still it's this guy that owns the market. The buyers, they are going up. Then if the B is also showing, still confirming again that you see, I told you before, as in the buyers are the owner of the market. Don't argue. If you see stochastic pointing towards the green, it's saying, guys, I've told you again and again. Even now, stochastic is saying the same thing. The buyers on the market, and then the RSI is also doing the same thing. That then he will tell you that, hey, in your face, everybody is saying the same thing. How can all of them be wrong? We own the market. Fine, we have agreed. This is the right time to buy. You only buy when the buyers are the owner of the market. Remember, you as a trader, you're not going to fight the market. You can't even fight the market. You don't have what it takes. You are going with the flow. You want just to know where is the market going though, so I can follow gingerly, isn't it? Let me just follow as an obedient trader, isn't it? So now they have told you this is when to buy because it's actually going up, confirming the strength of the market. Now, where to buy? Where to buy? Because where to buy now? Should you buy at this point? Should you buy at that point? Should you buy at this point? That is where the big happens. This is where people make mistakes, you know. And now I want to tell you something. When you see all of these points, do you know why our educators always tell you when you see 4 out of all of these points, when you see 4 from 4 and above, you take the trade? Do you know some of my mentees, they tell you that, yes, so though coach, you told us to take 4, but me, I wanted to take him from 5. And guess what? What you ask for, you always get. I like that. That's being careful. They don't joke with their fund. And so they take 5, and you see some of them, you see they hardly lose any trade. They just send green to me. I was like, come, are you guys in? I don't know. Have you guys, maybe you are taking, in any way you take the back door, you just get this trade, right? So what I'm trying to say is this. This is the next thing now, to know when to come in. Now, when to come in, sorry, where to come in, sorry, where, not when now. When is right now. As in, when I say when, is anytime from this moment, because these guys are they actually controlling the market. But now, where to come in is where ability to bring all of these things together. After aligning, you now put them to the timing. Timing. Now, what is the timing? Remember, I talk about the time frame. Okay. So when you put them with the time frame, then you enter at that point. And I tell you, when you enter at that point, you always win. At least you have about 70-80% ratio of winning your that 80%, of winning your what? Assurance of winning that trade. When you harmonize all of these things. Okay. Now, so where does this when we say where, what does it mean? Now let's look at the time now. What time is it? It's 10:23. If I were to take this trade now, unfortunately, there's no trade here, but let's assume this is a trade. Let's just assume this is a trade, right? If I were to take this trade right now, I would wait for 10:30. Now, you wait for what? 10:30. I'll be working. So when I say wait for 10:30, that doesn't mean you only wait when it's 10:30. No, remember, when it's 10:30 is when the candle start moving for the next 15 minutes again. So meaning that's when you're supposed to enter. That's what I mean. That's where you're supposed to enter from. Okay. But so when it's already 10:20, 10:25, sorry, from 10:25, you start watching the trade. Now, what do you expect? From that 10:35, you want everything to align, which means you want, like, the way it's looking now, exactly the way it's looking, you want the RSI to find its way to the green, you want the stochastic to find its way to the green, touching it. The moment all this happens in a real market, you see those score. The score you see there will be increasing in number. You want the arrow point to be the green arrow to be pointing up, to be a green arrow and then be pointing up. You want the price to be around the support area. Do you get my point now? The price must be this around the green area, all those green lines that you see. Can you touch the green line for them? Let them see the support, the floor guys. The prices must be close. See, so you'll be watching, make sure that they are close to that line. Okay, good. Then also, of course, the EMA and the the EMA and the super trend must be below. Okay, must be below. You are going for a call. Then what else now? I think we've done. So when the moment all of these ones are aligning and it's almost time, guess what you see? You see that the price is, because for the green to be showing now, it means the price went down. And remember, when you want to go up, you buy the floor, isn't it? Remember, you buy the floor, right? So when the swipe option sends you trades, they tell you to enter a trade that is going like an upward trend or a call. They always give you a price that is lower than the present price. So most times, the moment all of these things align, the current price is always below. The price is already going below the current price. Go down, as you can see, it's in red now because everything is aligning, almost aligning, not everything anyway, because the super trend and the EMA are not aligning. That's why you see it's going red. So it's going to the last level to go for that time, for that interval. Do you get? So the moment that happens, you check your own time. As soon as it's 10:29, you open your broker. Now you don't need to be on this what's it called. The moment you see that the call score is already 4, showing 4, and it's 10:28, and it's already close, and it's already touching the green, and all these ones are already in line, you go straight to your broker. That's what I do. You go straight to your broker and you watch your broker. The moment is that 10:30, any movement down, just small, take it. Even if it's not down, just take it. And when you take it like that from there, you use 5 minutes. Sometimes I use 3 minutes, but the timing now is now depending on whether you want to go, whether you are following the 5 minutes time frame or you are following the 15-minute time frame, which I will explain at the end of this training. Okay, those are other parts that I'll just explain at the end of the training that happens, and those ones are based on experience. Okay, those ones are based on experience, not really. It doesn't happen every time. Based on experience, I experienced some of them today, so that's why I said I'll add it to this class. Okay, to make it a bit advanced. Okay, now, but for now, all you need to know is as soon as all of these things are pointed, and it's 10:27, so you wait for 3 minutes more. That's like 2 minutes plus. You wait. Don't just take it before that time. Sometimes you be tempted that, oh, this thing is like it's about to go up. You now enter. No, don't just be tempted. It's better you lose. There are times I let it go like that. I'll just wait for the next time, which is 10:45. Do we get what I'm saying? As soon as all of these things are live and it's 10:30 or 10:45, take the trade. You eat that trade. You win that trade. Okay. least, let's say 70% assurance that you get that trade. Okay. Now, what happens for a put if it's a downtrend? Now, it's going to be a totally opposite of everything we talk about. So, if it's a downtrend, what do you expect? First of all, remember, the first currency will be lower than the second currency, right? Now, the second thing you note, now remember, I divided this into two, right? I said first is to know whether you take the pair or not. So, to know whether to take the pair, if the currency is telling you downward trend, which is a put, what do you expect? You expect the 4 time frames. Remember, the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes, the 1 hour, the 1 day to be confirming this. At least 3 out of those 4 to confirm this, that this trend is downwards. Now, if that is confirmed, how do you confirm that? The EMA and the what? And the super trend. When you confirm that is the pair you want to take, the remaining point is to show you when to take them, whether it is now or not. How do you know whether it's now? Then if it is now for a put, okay, for a put, remember the EMA and the super trend must be what must be above, right? Above, not below this time around. Now for a put, what do you expect? The arrow must be red, pointing down. That is telling you now it's time to be available for a sell, right? Then the next thing is what? The floor, the ceiling, sorry, the ceiling now. When it comes to selling, you sell the ceiling, you sell the roof, which is the red part at the top. Can you point that for them, please? The red, not the green now, the red line. Seems all these lines are disappeared. Or am I the only one? See my eye? That's the market for you. The market is designed. So just know, of course, we all know the red line. So the prices must come from the red. And if you see it, it's even clearing now. Look at all the prices. They touch the roof. If they are on their way down, they touch the roof before coming down. If they are going up, they touch the floor before going up. Do you get what I'm saying? So the roof now is what you are selling. So that's how you know it is time for selling. The arrow must point down red. The roof must be touched coming down red. Then after that, what is the next thing? Remember, those are our guys now. After the roof, those guys that argue between who is the one. Oh, it's on daily time frame. Please change it back to 5 minutes time frame. No wonder. What kind of movement is it? Oh, there's no movement yet. Thank you. Put it to 5 minutes here. Oh, good. All right. So now, so like I was saying, for a put, okay. So we're checking the time now. So the B and the S guy, so they're arguing now. So who wins the argument when it's a put, when it's a downward trend? The sell, the S guy will win. So you see the S sticking to the red line, saying, "Oh, it's our time. Oh, it's our time." Based on the other book, it's our time. Many others that we're seeing is for the sellers, and we are the sellers, and we own this time, isn't it? So it's sellers' time now. So the B will take what? A back seat, while the S take that position, the first position. Can you point it to them? The first position on the far right. The fifth. Can you point it? Yeah, point that area. So the S will replace the B that you are seeing there now. I mean, yeah. So the S will replace. No, don't pick it. I mean, yes, they can see the S now. So it will be on that good. It will be in the first position. That's far right. Now, also, what happens to the stochastic? Remember the stochastic guy now, the one that tells you the number of orders that has been placed in the market, right? So that's the stochastic. It's pointing towards the red, saying, "Oh, we have more orders on the order book for sellers now. The sellers own the market. This is the sellers' time." Then the RSI is also telling them that, "Hey, guys, most of the purchases we are having now are what? Most of the money we're having right now are for the sellers." You understand? So right now, the sellers owns the time. So the moment all these things I mentioned, they are aligning and they are showing. The next thing you want to do is what? Somebody write it in the chat. I want somebody to write the next thing you want to now see. If all of them are aligning, what do you want to see now? What are you waiting for? What exactly is your cue to tell you where to enter? Somebody should put it in the chat box. What tells you where to enter? Remember, we're not using good timing. The timing tell you where to enter now, right? So how do you know that? Right now, what's the time? The time is 10:32. Good, thank you, thank God. Oh, I like that. So as I'm thanking you, you are telling me to thank God. That's exactly how it's supposed to be. Thank you, thank God. All right. So now it's 32, 10:32. What you're waiting for now is if I were you, I would just wait for 10:45. No matter what the market tells me, I will not do. As do you know when you gain freedom from the market, is when you see tempting traits that are not aligned with your strategy and you ignore. That is when you feel so good. You just like yourself that, oh, market, now me and you today, I don't get the gist. I've gotten the memo. Why won't I get the memo? After blowing thousands of dollars, won't you get memo? Your account will tell you the memo. You don't even need to read the memo. You feel the memo everywhere. You know, so now that we have the memo, what do? We respect our strategy because it's going to be leading us into the market and it doesn't lead us blindly. So you wait for 10:45. Now, does it mean trades cannot really align between these times? It can, but if it does, good luck to those who take it, but not you. And that's where now I'll round it part this part, I'll round it up with the discipline area. That's where you enjoy. See, trading can be enjoyable, I'm telling you, if only you make it so. Okay. Now we now know what to look out for a buy, we know what to look out for a sell, right? Is there any other part that we don't know from this one I just explained? If you have anyone, just quickly ask me the question before I now add my experience based on 15 minutes, 5 minutes stuff. Anyone? Any question? So far, any question? All right. In the absence of no question, or maybe question may come in while I'm explaining. Okay, good. Oh, I like that. If you are clear on this, then mean I'm doing a good job. Thank you very much. I take it as a compliment. All right. Um. Now, so today I was trading. I will show you. I think this part. Oh, you have a question, Sandra? Why you would remind me? You just gave me a compliment that you are clear. All right. Okay, I understand. I'm just joking. Okay. You can ask your question. Just type it while I'm explaining what I want to explain. Okay. So today, guys, while I was trading, one of my mentees asked me this question before. So he told me, he said, okay, he was waiting for a trade on a 5 minute time frame, and the trade aligned. As a matter of fact, he gave him 6, and it aligns with the strength, and he took it on the time. I think he took it around maybe 10 o'clock, which is one of the times that I said. So after entering the trade, it was supposed to be for a sell. Okay. So he entered the trade for a sell, for a put, downward trade. Everything aligned, remember. So meaning both the pair is the right pair to take. The time is the right time to take it based on all the points. Remember, I told you what determines whether you should take the pair or not, and what determines when to enter, and the one that determines where to enter. Is the time that determines where to enter. The other points determine when to enter. The what's it called? That the EMA and the super trend determines where when to enter, isn't it? Oh, sorry, whether to take the pair or not, right? So this guy now said, okay, everything aligned on the 5 minutes, and the timing 10 o'clock, everything aligned on the timing 10 o'clock. And you know what happens? Usually happen at that moment. Since it's a downward trend, what do you think will happen? It should be touching a resistance, the red one at the top, right? Now the red one is showing now. Can you please touch the red one for us? Abby. So this the red line, the roof. So the price was on the roof coming down, was touching the roof on the way down. So this guy said, oh, this is a good one. He took the trade. So he now said what he now realized was after the trade touched that roof and on its way down, all of a sudden it started going up that he passed through, he broke that roof, okay, and made his way upward. And he was on 5 minutes. And for like the next 3 minutes, the trade was still upward. And then he rolled over. And that was 10 minutes. And within the 10 minutes, around 8 minutes, the trade was still upward. Now, he's a new person. If it was to be me, I'll be looking at taking another position, right? But good. Anyway, as a new person, was now wondering what happened. And I said he lost that trade. So after losing that trade, later on, he now saw this thing moving downward so fast. It was like, what happened? He now asked me the question. And you know what I told him? I'm going to answer your questions, so don't worry, okay? You know what I told him? So okay, you know what I'll do? LB, is your phone, is your laptop connected to WhatsApp? I mean, can you download whatever sent to your to your WhatsApp via your phone? Can you access them through your laptop? Don't worry, we'll pray for the network. Don't worry. By the time we make so much money, oh, you cannot. Okay, I wish so. I wanted to show you guys something. So I now did an experiment on this. I said I was going to show you guys today what really happened. Okay, I can explain verbally. Then maybe I'll show you later on. I don't want to disrupt this screen. because I have to share my screen to show you, because I really did some screenshot of it so you understand better. So you know what usually happens? Anytime you see, now that's to do with price action, okay? Anytime you see on the 5 minute, you're on a 5 minute time frame, you now see that a trend that is coming downwards or upward. Let's now use downwards now. And you now see that a particular roof, which is a particular resistance, have been touched. Okay, have been touched like first and second time on that area, on that same ceiling. It has been touched like maybe first, second time. Most likely, the third time will want to go for a 15-minute ride, not 5 minutes, not from that end. So if you're looking at it from 5 minutes now, what I mean is this. Look at, Eric, can you do this for me? See the resistance you are seeing for this 5 minutes. Can you get an horizontal line and put on it? Put an horizontal line on it. That's the one after the market. You know how to speak up? Yes, on the horizontal line. Yeah, yeah. Go to that part. No, no, no. Yes, there. Yes, there. There. Click on the arrow. No, 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 no. The one above. Yes. Click and hold. Click and hold. Tap it and hold it down. Okay, choose horizontal line. I hope no one is lost from what I'm doing right now. Please, I just want to show you something. Now, put that horizontal line on the, okay, you can put it on, yeah, put it there, put it there. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Now, go to 15 minutes. Guys, can you see that line, right? Go to 15 minutes. Now, on 15 minutes, can you see what is going on now? On the 15 minutes, if you were to check, put the red line now, put another line on the yes, on the at the top of the week of the 15 minutes. That blue candle, the previous candle. You see that it's kind of above, is above the one for the 5 minutes, right? Is above the one for the 5 minutes, right? Now, if you are to use the ceiling, so the thing is this, sometimes your trade only aligns on 15 minutes, not on 5 minutes. That's why if you don't see an alignment, you see that the time is closing to, like, let's say 10:40 now, it's going to be 11 o'clock now, right? And you are supposed to take a trade at o'clock, or okay, it's going to be 10:45. 10:45 is the next time to take a trade. And you now see that the trade you are on is not still close to aligning, even at 10:43. And you know that it's 2 minutes remaining. Quickly go and check your 10:15, your 15 minutes time frame, because that may be aligning on that one. So if you are on the 5 minutes, and you now see 5 score points on the 5 minutes aligning. Meanwhile, the trade is headed to the 15 minutes. Even when you enter the 5 minutes, it will still clear for you, but just that you should do that 15 minutes later. So if you do 5 minutes, the time will not be enough. By the time it goes up, it keep going up until it touches the one for the 15 minutes, which means go back to 5 minutes now. Can you, before you go back, can you see the black line, the stochastic and the RSI is already touching red on 15 minutes, right? This is 15 minutes, right? Is it M5? Okay, this is M5. This is 5 minutes. See, the stochastic is already touching the red, right? Go to 15 minutes now. Let's see what will happen. Okay, this is 15 minutes now. Okay, go to 5 minutes. Go to 5 minutes. Meaning on 5 minutes, it must have what? It must have passed it. You see now, it's passing it already at the 5 minutes. So which means for this trade now, for you to win this trade, it will pass beyond the point you enter from here, because right here, he's not actually minding the 5 minutes. He's on his way to the 15 minutes. Hope you understand what I'm trying to explain. So what I'm saying is this. Whenever you see a point that has been touched like 2-3 times, like see this one now, you see the first red one has been to that area, the second red one has been to that area, the third red one is going beyond that area, going to 15 minutes. See the line you drew at the top for 15 minutes, the horizontal line of 15 minutes. You see that it's touching it now. Do you know that you went to touch it with the wick? So which means it went beyond the 5 minutes, because it has touched the 5 minutes like maybe 2 times, 3 times of time. The next one, it will break the 5 minutes and go and touch the 15 minutes. Still within the same zone though, but your time is what matters. So with the little, if you use 5 minutes, you may lose the trade. Do you get? I will show you the screenshot of what I'm explaining right after this whole class. Okay. Now let me answer the question in the chat box before we now round this up with the discipline part, which is the best part for me. And then that's where we'll go to the compound daily, which we all know already. But I want to use it to explain our discipline. Okay. What if the trend is for a buy, but the trend is on the bearish momentum? You leave that pair Remember, I told you that the conditions to taking a pair is if a strength is telling you upward trend, okay, and then that's the and then the okay. What you're asking is what if the strength is for a buy? That's what you're saying. The strength, but the trend is on a bearish momentum. Which you're talking about the super trend, right? If those ones are on a bearish momentum, you leave that trade. Okay, you leave that trade. But first, before you do that, you confirm for 4 time frames. If you see that 4 time frames out of 4, you have 3, you can take the trade. But if you see that out of 4, you only have 2, leave that trade. Okay. See, there are 3 types of people in the market. We have the conservative people, the moderate people, and the aggressive people. Now, the conservative people are those that, even if it's 3 that aligns and not 4, they will not still take it until they see the total 4. And it's okay. It's okay for them like that because that's how they save their own money. And you see them progressing also. Then the moderate ones are the ones that they follow the instructions. You know, they just, okay, if it is 3, they will still take it. You know, but the aggressive one, those ones, sometimes they don't even care. Even if it's just pullback, they take pullback. Those ones, they take everything and anything. Such people, they don't go forward far. They don't go far. They make money the afternoon, they lose it in the evening. They make money the afternoon. Now, okay, I think that's the only question we have for this. Okay, good, good. Thank God, that's the only question. Now, guys, so I want to understand. Everybody understand this whole thing that we just explained, right? Please, if you get this, I want you all to say to put A in the chat box. A. I mean A, not 8. Letter A. The letter now, A. If you understand this, please. Thank you. Let's respond faster because of network and the time. So we're almost done. I'm excited that we're almost at the end of this. The last part is my favorite part, actually. All right, good. Now, do you know that we can teach our newbies how to take trade by themselves? Let me tell you this good thing about this. Do you know from experience what happened is my mentees they take trade around 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. And most of them are working class. Like one of them is a doctor, is a medical doctor, and he works with the emergency section. And this guy have been having issues. You understand? He will tell me that the problem is he subscribed, but the timing and all that. And I told him, bros, what time do you leave your house? He says he leaves around 7 and all that. I say, good. You take your trade in the morning. He said, but the problem is, what if the swipe option? I say, forget swipe option. When swipe option comes, now, do you know the best part about this? Okay, which I will talk about the discipline area, the compound plan, don't worry. Now, I say, when swipe option comes, they become an addition. If you can take them fine, but what if you meet your target in the morning before leaving? And do you know what I noticed these days? If you follow the real discipline plan, your target will be met by just 3 trades. And all of them always meet their target. I can show you screenshot of our conversation. You see them, some of them 3 a.m. Like Mami Water, they don't wake up. Like 3 a.m. They will be sending me result that, oh, coach, I'm done for the day. I just love that word. I'm done for the day. I know what that means. They'll send me the screenshot, they'll send me the result. I'm telling you, one took $60 to $399. One took $180 to $112. She started this our 90 days game plan like on Monday, right? This Monday. From $80 now is $112 because I have to make sure they follow the discipline plan. When they tell me they send the trade ideas to me, do you know why I tell them to send the trades they take to me? I want to make sure they use their 3%. They use more than 3%. And the time also, I check all these things just to not for anything, just to make sure that, you know, because I'm rounding up with this part now. You see, the success in trading is not how many trades you take, it's not how much knowledge you have. I want you to know that today. It's how profitable you are. That is why you see that there are many strategies. People teach you different strategies that they use. Because if it were to be a competition of how much knowledge you have, there will have been a unified one strategy just to test who is better at it. But people have their own strategy that works for them. Some people trade trends, some people trade support and resistance, different strategy and all those stuff, right? We don't care. For me, I don't care about all these things. I don't even want to be the best in knowledge in Forex. I want to be the most profitable. Because at the end of the day, they want to see the guy who buys Bugatti by trading Forex. That's the case the guy they want to buy his course. They don't want to buy the guy who is a guru just behind the YouTube video and no. They just want to, So in IM Academy, also, when you pay your subscription, the most important thing is you want to be that guy who buys a new car, who buys a house, with the money you make from your trading at first. When you do that, let me tell you what happens. Your network booms, boom. Now, I will refer this back. I will round it off with that the momentum stuff. Yeah, the YouTube gurus. One thing about them is I don't see their lifestyle. I only see them behind the camera inside one room every day. And they tell you they are the one. Come and learn the strategy from me, you know? Especially those ones that criticize IM everywhere. You see them criticize IM. I see their brokers sitting on a broke chair, you know, in the broke room, facing a broke camera, and they're broke life. You see everything. Sometimes, you know, I go to their group just to go and see what's going on. You see, it's like when they are doing, like when you're having wakekeeping, you know, wakekeeping now everywhere is silence and people are mourning and crying. You know, nothing is happening in their life. They just, but you know, the real guys, you know them. Just see a lifestyle, you be the one asking, isn't it? Now we want to be those guys, and that's why I am Academy is built on profit, not on you being, you know, I want to be the guru. Have you? Let me tell you another thing again. I want to tell you. I'm sorry to say this. I'm sorry to say this. There are some people that have left IM Academy who, during the time they were in the academy, those days, you know, they teach everything. You think they're actually making the money. Then when they leave is when you now know that, also, meaning all these things you know all the strategies in IM Academy, yet you're not making money. See, let me tell you, it's better you know one thing very well and be profitable than knowing everything and still just, we're not in the university. The only place you want to impress people with knowledge is in the school, university, you get school. But in real life, my brother, don't care how much you know. People want to know how much you made because people only want to follow those who have made the money. And so you can teach them how to make the money. So, for God's sake, for the sake of our business, for the sake of our lifestyle, for the sake of the reason why we join this academy, because let me tell you, the spirit, the secret of network marketing is using the product, sharing the product, you know, before you can talk to people. As a matter of fact, you are not certified to even talk to someone if you have not made $10 or at least $1 as profit. What are you telling people? So that's why when you come in your first 72 hours, you must make money if you are serious. Now, for us to reduce all the long learning, what we'll do is come in, learn the back office, join the launch call group, follow the coaches while they teach you. While you are doing all of that, quickly, whoever is your mentor must teach this to you. All you need to do, the moment your people enter this team, the first thing you want to help them to show them is after the back office videos, which they will be watching as they are teaching them this, is to teach them how to take trades from swipe option, how to use their broker, and how to use the strategy. So their first week, they can make some profit. They don't need to make $100, depending on how much, even if it's $10. Let me tell you, all they need is just to make one money, just one day trade. They go to the close area, close the trade, show all the summary of the trades you have taken and the profit, screenshot it, put a story to it, put it on all your social media. Guys, hey, you all know me anyways. I know nothing about Forex about a week ago. I just started with an academy and little knowledge. Bam, in my first 72 hours, I've already made my first profit in Forex. This is a very bright future for me. If you'd like to know how I did this, just hit me in my inbox. That's it. That's it, your story. Now, that's all you need. Now, and so our job, listen to this, our job as a network marketing professional is ability to create story for our newbies in their first week. Because story sells, fact only tells. All this fact, IM Academy is the best academy in the world. We have 1 million educators that gives you all this basic. We have 1 million strategies. All those was the story. That's the fact. You are given the fact. Just like you say, Nigeria is a country and it has this capital and state and all those. People don't care. How much are you guys producing? How good is your country economically? People want to see things that will make them feel good. You get? I'm not saying it's good, not good. It's bad, not to know. I mean, it's bad to know the facts. No, I'm just saying, why don't you create your own story? See, the fact is already there. If they want to know the fact, give them the website. You are not the one to tell them all that. Those ones are already written on the website. All these things you are saying, they are written in the videos. That what they have not heard is you. How far have you gone? And you know, the story of a newbie is more effective than the story of somebody who has been in academy and made 1 million. Let me tell you, if I keep telling somebody that I've been in academy, I've made so much money, I've made so much money, it's okay to motivate a lot of people to join. But do you know the one that motivates people more? Hey, I'm just 48 hours in this academy and I made my first $10. People want to see because why? The prospects are more closer to the newbies. Because you that you have been there, you've made so much in the past. They're like, oh wow, they're excited, but they'll be thinking that before they will get to this part, it will take time. Do you get? So that is why we are doing all of this. Now, the 90 days game plan, let me tell you why you should not joke. The key to unlocking your unlimited success. I mean, I'm talking of residual success, residual happiness. And I'll prove it to you. I think this time I'll have to share my screen. LB, thank you for the screen. Sharing. Thank you so much. Let me share my screen this time around. I want to share my screen so I can show you what I'm saying. Um, okay, but I'm not the host. Don't worry. Many will be called, few will be chosen. It's normal like that when it comes to training. We're how many 20 something? We're 13 now. Yeah. Not every soldier that goes to war comes back, you know. All right. Well, who's the host now? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right, I want to share my screen, guys. I want to share something with you. Very important. Okay. Now, why are we doing the 90 days game plan? See, remember, I told you that network marketing is about copying what you are doing, right? And copying it, make it simple enough so others can do it, right? How would you feel if, okay, yes, I know. How would you feel if just the next 3 days, 3 months, the 3 months, next 3 months become the beginning of the best of the best of the best of your life? I mean, the residual best. I mean, when I say residual, meaning it's continuous, like never ends. It's not going to stop. You understand? Never going to stop. You get. Now, remember, I know you know this one already, right? I know you know what I'm going to share with you, but just wait, okay? Just listen and see how I'm going to share it or what I want to talk about it, okay? You know about the compounding plan. Everybody here know about that. You teach it to people, right? Now, guys, let's talk about this. Just talk about this, okay? Please, let's just listen, eh? Let's say you start with your $100, which is the 90 days, right? I want to share the goal. The main goal of this 90 days game plan is not about how much you will withdraw. Now, I said you start with the 100 USD. Okay, start with the 100 USD. And remember, let's say 5% daily. Of course, that is small thing, right? But don't worry about that. That's not the point. Don't worry about that. For 90 days, oh, that's too far. Don't worry about that. It's not as far as they are. At least none of us is 90 days old here. We're all older than 90 days, isn't it? So if you have been here on this earth for more than 90 days and 90 days and 90 days and several 90 days, and you're not this rich, as rich as the compound daily will show you right now, then I think the next 90 will not kill you since you didn't die all these 90 days that have passed. All right. And do you know the funniest part? The moment people say, oh, 90 days is too far, it's too far, I'm not interested. Guess what? They don't do, they go somewhere else. Now, it would be stupid if going somewhere else is not going to give you more than what you are being offered here. So if you are going somewhere, meaning you are going somewhere that will offer you 30 days in what you are being asked to do for 90 days here. Now, if you're not seeing anything like that and you still live, then that is the definition of stupidity. You understand? So the only reason why you say no to this is if you have something better. But if not, I tell you, that is the definition of stupidity. Now, what happens? Of course, you all know the drill. 90 days, blah 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 blah. You make 8,073 USD. That's your principal, right? But the net when you deduct, which means when you deduct the amount you started with 7,973. But we all know there are days where you have losses, there are days where you have this, blah blah blah. Let's say worst case scenario, you have $5,000. Guys, I want you to look at this. Once, let's say you have $5,000, right? You have $5,000. So what happens? $5,000. I want to ask this question. I think I've asked before in one of the sessions, but I want to ask again. Okay. I want to ask again. Okay, can't see my screen. Oh my God. Oh, sorry. Oh, can you see it now? Forgive me. Sorry. All right. All right. So let me show you the compound daily. So this was the result I got, which we all know already. Okay. Okay, I have a 8,073 as the principal. Of course, the net 7,973. But I'm not saying, guys, I'm saying let's be realistic. The days of losses, the days maybe you didn't meet up and blah blah blah. If you follow the discipline plan, right? Let's put that together. Let's say you didn't eat 7,973. Let's say you only get $5,000. Maybe that's what you eventually you made at the end of those 90 days. $5,000. Now I want to ask you a question, okay? And I'd like to see your very honest answer. A, if you're going to be withdrawing your $5,000, and at least, of course, you are excited. That's the reason why you did it in the first place. So you can have enough money to do something that you want to do, like a project or something. So A, put it in the chat. A, if you're going to withdraw your $5,000 and do what you want to do. B, if you're going to leave your $5,000 as a balance in your account and use that as your liquidity, which you use in trading. Let's be fast about that. A, if you're going to be withdrawing your money or you withdraw some of it. B, if you're not going to withdraw at all and you leave it as a balance, as your liquidity, which you use for your trading. I like that. Shaman Chris, A. Withdraw some, which is A. So you are still A too. That's Daniel Achiever. Who else? Who else? Please, I need all of us to participate in this. I need all of us to participate in this. Two reasons why I want you to participate in this. Number one, for understanding sake. Number two, I actually want to know how many of you are already sleeping on me. So, A, if you are going to withdraw some, okay, B, come on, we have 14 people. Are the rest already sleeping on me? Am I that boring? Let me know if I'm boring. I'll work on my heart. On my heart next time. Okay, B, I have one B here. Thank God. I like that name. Thank God. Each time I say it, it's like I'm actually saying thank God. Okay, I said A. Okay, I said, let's say you eat your goal, you start with $100. At the end of 90 days, normally, according to the compounding plan, you're supposed to be having 7,973. Okay, but let's say me, I'm now saying that, let's say you want to deduct all the days of losses and this. At the end of the day, you didn't even eat the target of 7,973. All you have is what? $5,000 from $100 in 90 days. What are you going to do? A, are you going to withdraw some, withdraw all? If it's withdraw some or all, is A. Or you are going to B, you are not going to withdraw at all. You leave the 5,000 as your balance for your liquidity, for your trading. Which are you going to choose? Is it A or B? Okay. All right. Okay, good. So let's just assume this as okay. Okay, B. All right, guys. Now let me so remember what your option, right? Now let me explain this to you. Now let's say Mr. A, all of you that are A. So let's say the 90 days is here, you withdraw your money, and that's a lot of money. It actually makes sense to withdraw this money. You know why? Let's base it on what we have today. I think that's 3.250,000. So you started the journey with 65,000 3 months ago, and now it's 3 million plus. That's a good thing. You could do a lot of things with this, isn't it? But now, the moment you withdraw your money, whether you withdraw some of it or you withdraw all, it's gone, right? So maybe you can fund your account again and start all over again. Maybe you want to fund with 1,000 this time around to start all over again. It's okay, good. But Mr. B, now why you at that? The other person who is B, is leaving his $5,000 as his own balance liquidity. Worst case scenario is still broke as he was 90 days ago. Why you that withdraw your money, you are richer and you are better. You have, nice. At least you have the money. You're taking care of things, and he's still broke. But see what happens to him. Now he has a new balance in his broker, right? So which means, according to the discipline plan, which nobody should break this plan if you really want to succeed. If you want to go far, don't over leverage, don't over trade, don't even do anything that is beyond this. If you do it, I've done it before, I tell you. I don't think there's anybody, well, I won't say that, but I know that when we are giving award to those who blow accounts, I think I should be a chairman, or maybe I will be a president, not even a chairman, maybe CEO, somewhere close to the top, because I was really aggressive, But when I learned my lesson, I made so much money, so much. I can tell you wholeheartedly, so much money. Okay, now let's talk about this. Remember, the other guy who is broke, his 3% is now what? 150 USD. So now this guy, every day he takes trades. And with all the knowledge we have now, combining the educator's time, combining the swipe option, combining this strategy, at least normally if you have to look at that, you can take trades about 8 trades in a day, even more. 8 is when you are moderate. Conservative, maybe 5. But aggressive, even 10 you can take with all of these things we just mentioned. When you match the swipe option, the educators, which is what's it called, Henry Moore, Billy Mills, put it together with strategy, you could be doing more. But let's just stick to 3 trades. How many trades? 3 trades a day. Remember, you have 3 million naira already. This guy has nothing. He only leaves this money in his account, and he wants to start the next day now. Maybe on Monday, he wants to start trading with his new balance. So he's 3% with $150. The minimum, the lowest amount they pay you, what's the lowest payout? Somebody who knows the lowest payout? The lowest payout. Somebody should tell me the lowest payout on all our brokers. I mean, abroad. 60%. God bless you. God bless you. 60%. So this means in every trade, let's say this guy, there are 80%, right? But let's take worst case scenario. It means for every trade this guy, for every trade he places on his broker, $150 per trade, assuming across the board is 60%, right? This guy is making $90 for every single trade. So let's say this guy is taking 3 trades in a day. This guy will be making $270 in a day. Let's say This guy wants to leave that $5,000 as his liquidity and withdraw his money every day. This guy will be withdrawing 175,500 naira every day. Let's say this guy is doing this for 28 days. This guy is withdrawing 4.9 million every 28 days. Now, you that you have withdrawn whether half or you have withdrawn all, I don't think you can be rich as this guy. You know why? His new balance becomes his what? His assets. This is when your money becomes your asset. This is when you, so which pays him every day. But do you know the best part? I'll tell you the best part now. Before I now finally, I will not ask you this question again. That question I asked you before, I will ask you again. Do you know the best part? Let's say this guy doesn't even withdraw like this every day. Do you know what this guy wants to do? Let me show you what he wants to do. If you want to see what he wants to do, this guy now have a new balance. He wants to go the next 90 days. Remember, he's still broke because he's not withdrawing. But do you know the good thing about this next 90 days? Is I'll tell you now, you see the next good thing about it. You'll be shocked now, guys. And you will take this should take, because this is a mindset thing, okay? Actually, I think maybe another day I will ask Coach Manela that will have a mindset. But that, I don't know, some of you may not be comfortable because I'll be asking some personal questions, but it's very, very effective. That will help you to really want to do this. You know, now this guy has a new balance, $5,000, and he wants to go the next 90 days. But this time around, okay, it's 5%, still 5% daily. But this time around, okay, it's 90 days. Okay, here now, this time around, he's not doing 100% no withdrawal. He's doing 50%, which means he wants to be withdrawing half of his money. Can you see how exciting this is now? So meaning he's going to be withdrawing half of his money. So he's only taking back 50%. Still the same way, no weekends and all that. See what happens. You'll be shocked. Oh, what have I done? Hope I'm not resetting the value. Good. See what happens. In the next 90 days, this guy, his income would have grown by, what have I done? Okay, the percentage is now 1%. No wonder. Sorry. 5%, 50%. Calculate. Good. Now, do you know what happens? Remember, you have withdrawn. I mean, all the A guys, you have withdrawn your money, and probably you refund your account with $500 to start another 90 days. This guy did not withdraw anything. Do you know what he did? He would put in his 5,000 for the next 90 days with the hope of withdrawing half of his money. So what happens? At the end of 90 days, his income in his account now, in his broker now, would have grown to 46,144 USD. 46,144 USD. And his withdrawal that he must have withdrawn during that time would have been 41,144. Guys, do you know what that means? I hope you are with me because I can't see if you are with me now, right? Now, this guy will be having 46,000, let's say 46,000 in his account. That is 29M. Yet, he would have still withdrawn 41,000. That is 26M. Let me ask you this question again. Let me ask you again. A, you withdraw part or you withdraw all the money. B, you do exactly like Mr. B, what I just showed you now. Which one would you choose? I want to ask again. A, A, you withdraw your money. B, you make your money your asset that pays you for the next 90 days where you withdraw this time around. Let me tell you what happens. It's so crazy that you can't believe it. You know, when I did the next, you know that every 90 days will take you about 4 months, right? So let's say the 90 days, first 4 months gives you the first result. Another 4 months give you this big result now of 29 million, 26 million, respectively, total of about 50 something, 60 something million. Okay. Now imagine the next 90 days, which means we are talking of 1 year. You can be stupidly rich. Let me tell you what happens to you in 1 year. See, that's how crazy I am. Eh? I'm a long-term thinker. Okay. Now, do you know what happens? Remember, what is your balance here? Your money, the one you have withdrawn, spend on many things you want to spend it on is 41,000. But the money that will remain in the 46,000. Remember, you're already rich. You don't need this 46,000 again to withdraw. So let's say this is your new balance. And I know some of you say, you know, it's easier said than done. Yeah, I'm coming there. I'm coming there. Don't worry. I'm coming there. You'll be shocked. See, I work with statistics. I don't just talk, okay? I like statistics. If you stay with me to the end of it, we are done. Just showing you, coloring the mindset, why you should take this seriously. Now, the new balance is this, and it's still the 5%, 50% withdrawal, and all that. What happens? You don't want to know what happens. By the end of another 90 days, which is your completely 1 year, 1 year of this 1 year of this game plan, you would have had 424,000 USD in your account, yet you would have withdrawn 378,000 USD. Total is 757,000, right? So what I'm even happy about is the fact that you can withdraw, right? All of us like to withdraw. You can withdraw a lot of money, right? 424 and 378. Do you know what that means? 424, 275 million in your account. 378. This one's the way we withdraw. I don't know what you can do. 245 million. I mean, you would have done a lot with this. Maybe buy houses, real estate, secure, different securities that you don't worry again. In fact, you can relocate. You can even do citizenship by investment. Buy one visa, just one passport in all these new European countries. Live in a penthouse and do your trading from there. When you have a lot of money in your account, buy Bitcoin, buy all these assets and put together, both digital and physical assets. 245 million. This is your withdrawal, right? Guys, this is the big question I want to ask you. And I want you to answer me, yes or no. Guys, I want to even see how many of you are online right now. 12. It's okay. I want to ask you, if all you need to do in your life right now is to suffer, work hard, burn candles, late night, invest, subscribe, talk to people, invite, learn, trade, discipline, if all is the sacrifice you have to do for just 1 year, and you have this kind of money I just shown in your account that will free you for life, would you do it? I mean, for that dream that only you can see, would you be willing to give everything away and give it all for this dream that you see? You will. Good. That is how serious you should be. Whenever you are serious about this academy, don't be basing it on the amount you are making now. Put it on the amount you know that is coming that you are making. Now, for those who are thinking, but it's easier said than done. Is it possible? It is. I have a video which I did. I made that video on swipe option alone. Only swipe option. I didn't even have the educators and all that. I did a 2 weeks survey, which is 14 days survey of swipe option, how many wins and how many losses. Guess what? There was 66 wins and 10 losses. Assuming, how do you put this in percentage now? So when you say 66 wins and 10 losses, first you want to know 10 losses. So meaning you had 56 wins. 56 divided by what's it called? 50 divided by 66. Yeah. That is 0.84. Multiplied by 100. That's 84% winning rate. So let's say this plan that I showed you, this 30 days, what's it called? 90 days game plan, is succeeding based on 84%. Even 84% is too much. Even if it's 50%, you are still a rich person. I mean, super rich, multi-millionaire. I'm talking of not 7 figures, 8 figures millionaire. So why did I show you this? In case you say it's easier said than done. Come on. If the academy can win trades 84%, how many 84% you multiply by how many months? If you okay, let's even say it's 50% they win. If you multiply 50% by this 4 months that you're going to be being in this 90 days game plan, assuming there's only swipe option you have to take trades. Not to now add this strategy that we're talking about that gives us almost 70%. Not to now add our educators on their own on Go Live session that they give us 70, 80%, sometimes 90%. I've seen 100%. When you add all this percentage together, tell me how you will not even be halfway of this target. And halfway of this target means you are gone, you are far away from poverty, especially the fact that you have liquidity to trade for life. Guys, this is why you have to be serious. And lastly, this is why you have to be disciplined. Follow the discipline plan so you don't lose your money. Don't be tempted. Don't blow your account. Normally, if you follow the discipline plan, nobody should be blowing their account because this plan says 3% of your account you use. The moment you lose up to 5% of your account in a day, stop trading. Wait for the next day. That's it. If you do that, nobody will blow their account. But the situation whereby I see somebody's account is $50 and I see that person taking trade of $13 per trade, that is nonsense. That is risky. That is unprofessional. Or maybe you see somebody who has a balance of maybe $500 and is taking $100 trades. That is nonsense. Meaning all you need to blow that account is just 5 wrong trades. That's all. There's a reason why professionals ask you to do 3% of your account. So meaning 3% of your account, simply talk about what? It means 15, like 3% of this 500 is $15 now, isn't it? Meaning you can still take this trade 33 times before you blow your account. God forbid. And it's not possible you take, even if you are gambling safe, you can't take the 3 losses like that. So now, why do you need to discipline yourself? Not because of anything anymore, because of this goal that I set for you. This is why I'm excited. This thing I show you now can be possible for you. Now, let me tell you, there are 2 types of people here this night now. I want to round up now. I'm rounding up, okay? Now, I want to tell you something this night. I have a good news for you and I have a bad news. Which one should I go first? The good or the bad? Let me see. Majority carry the votes. The good or the bad? Sorry, I'm a realist, though. I like that. Always starting with the bad so you can end with the good. Good. I'm a realist, and sometimes I sound harsh, but this is the truth. Good. Okay, good. They say bad. Okay, right. Now, let me tell you the bad. The bad. Okay, this has it. You have more people. Now, the bad news is some of us on this, as in, of course, the ones that have left, we can't really say anything about them. But the ones that are here, some of us here, in the next 4 months, will still be the same and broke. The next 1 year, still the same and broke, if not even worse. That's the truth. That's just the truth of life. Now, the good news is some of us on this same chat, as in same group, as in same, what's it called now? This call this night will be 100 million naira richer, 200 million naira richer, as in so rich. And you know the good thing? Not just rich, so rich in money, in finances, in experiences, and in discipline. That's the good news. Now, whether it is you for the bad or the good, it is not for anyone to choose for you. It is up to you to choose. You know the story of the wise man and the 2 boys that tried to trick the wise man. I don't know if you heard that story before. Okay. There's this wise man, he's a blind man, but he's very wise in the village. He has a lot of wisdom. And these 2 kids, they're like, oh, we want to fool this man. Let us just see how intelligent he is. And you know what they did? So they caught a butterfly and they walked to him and they held the butterfly in their palm, squeezing it and holding it behind them. Remember, this man is blind. And they now called him old man. He said, you are the wisest of all. I want to ask you this question. I want to be sure whether you are right. The man said, what's the question? They asked, they said, old man, please, can you tell us? We have a butterfly in our hand right now. And we know you are blind, of course. But we want you to tell us whether this butterfly is alive or is dead. Do you know what the old man said? Their intention, first of all, was if the old man had said the butterfly is dead, they won't kill the butterfly. They will just release the butterfly and make it fly. They say, you see, you are wrong. The butterfly is alive. And the moment the man said the butterfly is alive, they will squeeze the butterfly and show him that, see, the butterfly is dead. That was their intention. But you know what the man said? The man said, well, all I can tell you is the life of the butterfly, whether dead or alive, will be in your hand right now. So whatever happens to the butterfly will be depending on what you will do eventually after my answer to this question. So the life of the butterfly, in short, is in your hands. That's exactly what I'm telling you tonight. My job is to tell you. The job of the coaches, the job of your mentors, the job of everyone is just to guide you. The job of the academy is to provide the tools for you, give you the platform, give you the opportunity. Your own job is to pay the subscription. You know, everybody have their own role to play, but the most important role is played by you. Your ability to ignore all the challenges, your ability to ignore all the terror, the horror, the emotional trauma. You know, when you lose trade, you feel lonely sometimes that maybe you are the only one behind. You know, you feel choked up that, oh, I can't even keep up. You feel like, oh, I can't even raise my next subscription. When you are left with all of this stupid, negative thoughts by devil, remember who you represent. Remember the image who you are created, which you are created from. You know, remember what you stand for. Remember what you stand to gain in the long run. Remember, you have to measure the pain and measure the gain in the end. Check which one is better. Knowing the fact that the pain is always temporary, but the gain is like eternity for life, generational wealth. When it's now left for you, you now think about the dreams that you have, the things you want to achieve in life, the things that are painful to you, because pains are more important. The pains motivate you to be successful more than pleasure. Things that probably, if money and time were not your problem, you will be achieving, you'll be doing right now. Think of those things and you choose the right decision. You stay put. You do everything it takes. Create your story. Let me tell you, after the 30 days, not even 90 days, after 30th day, you would have been recruiting a lot of people. All you share now on your social media is no more, come and make 30,000. No, no, no. It's your story. How I guys, in 30 days, I joined the 90 days game plan, and in 30 days already, I grew my account from so to so. And we're going on the next 30 days in the 90 days, or we're starting the next 90 days. Who cares to join? A lot of people will be shouting, Amin. And I tell you, when you do the right thing, starting by discipline, learning, following the right thing, everything in your life will just arrange themselves. Everything will just arrange themselves. You see your down, you see people rushing into your team, you see the right momentum. And remember where we started from. Momentum equals what? Mass times velocity. And remember the momentum, right? For a momentum to happen, you need mass, which means what? The number of effective quality people multiplied by what? How fast you will move in the right direction. And that will only happen if it starts with you. Because who you are is who you create. If you are the type who don't attend session, how do you expect the person you bring in to attend session? If you are the type who don't subscribe, how do you expect the people you bring in to subscribe? If you are the type who don't take trades to profit, how do you expect them to take trades to profit? And if they don't take trades to profit, they will be tired, they will not want to subscribe again. Deal with you, win your private victory, and then the public victory will be yours. That's all I have for you tonight. Thank God you have no questions. You guys are professionals already. But I want us to do this together because I can't do it alone. Coach Emmanuel cannot do it alone. Uh, OB cannot do it alone. Coach Ike, all of you guys, all the leaders, we can't, all of us cannot do it alone. We all have to come together as a force and create the first level of momentum. And let us stretch ourselves to do this 90 days. I tell you, many people will follow us. Results command respect. I was just telling Coach Emmanuel this night, there's a lady from Ghana who stopped subscribing, who said, after complaining, why. And this night she sent me a message, I want to sign up, I want to subscribe next week. Do you know why she's doing that? On my status, she sees when I post all these newbies, their results. Me, I don't tell you come and join. I'll just be posting all those things. The conversation, I don't post just, I will just be posting. They read before they will come and be whining me. That's what they will do to you. Let me allow you guys to sleep on this. But most importantly, you are not supposed to sleep, because if you sleep, meaning nothing enters you tonight. Just make sure you are comfortable tonight. Draw your plan. Go back to drawing board. Start from the beginning again. Back to basics, and let's go crush the market, man. Let's go get the bags. Thank you, guys. Love you all.
I have something to add. Coach Ismail, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
All right. So, if you've noticed on the group, there's a motive of, once you're done trading, withdraw your funds, right? Maybe because of past experiences with IQ Sense, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, what's your take on that?
Well, according to what I learned from Matthew Thayer, there was a time on one of his live presentation on Instagram, he talked about this. So what he said was, for him, this guy had over $8 million, my God, in his broker. He developed his account over $8 million using the same strategy that all of us are using now. So this guy said what he does is, the first time, and I've noticed that the first time of withdrawal, actually, these brokers, they don't like, they suspect when you withdraw big money or when you are withdrawing the first time, they give you all this stress and all that, just to be sure. They pass you to the account department and the account manager. But after your first withdrawal, they don't ask you all those questions again. When you place your withdrawal maximum, maybe if you do it on the weekend, sometimes it takes, maybe by Monday to come in. Sometimes it takes that same day. So he said it's a necessary evil, which is, of course, there's a lot of queue and all that. But the thing is, the moment you go through the first set of that stress, subsequently, you don't go through that anymore. But he was talking about Byte Forex then, and I use Byte Forex too. So, for example, my first withdrawal from Byte Forex was 1,200 USD. It took time. In fact, the manager will be talking to me. I said, is this fine trades? I said, yes, but I still have balance there. I want this one. I need it urgently for like 4 or 5 emails. But after they will approve that, what happened was, afterwards, anytime I send my withdrawal, they just send me an email like confirm, and then even this lady I told all you guys about, the one that moved the account from $154 to $912. Okay, by tomorrow she should be entering 1,000, which is our first 4 figures. What's it called? Now you know what? Some of our prospects, family friends said until she withdraws from that money and they see that she withdraw, that's when they'll believe that that's actual money. So she withdrew $20, and I was surprised. Well, IQ sent. It was very fast. Well, after her confirmation, she did her confirmation, and they sent her, and she was so crazy. She was happy. She sent me the message that, they sent her the $20 and all that, which of course she showed to that person. So the thing is a procedure. But you know what according to my I said, so if you're going to be withdrawing, let's say you're withdrawing like $5,000, It's better you do withdrawal every day. Just do withdrawal today. Even if it has not come, it will pile up. They will come together like 5,000. It's faster that way. You can withdraw 500, 500, 500 like that, or 400, 400 like that. It's just a necessary evil because the truth is, there are not much brokers out there that you want to use. If you use other brokers, they don't have all the facilities like rollover, all those double up, all those things that we do sometimes. Now these ones that are rollover now, they have their own cross to which we are carrying with them. So it's just a necessary evil. So that's how it is. So if they withdraw, the problem with withdrawing, like now, there's this consciousness when you have the amount of money and your 3%. Because for me, it's about this 3% thing. If I have $500 there, I know that there's only $15 I can do on a trade. You understand? So the mindset is always important. Okay, so they can withdraw. And another thing about 90 days is they can withdraw excess. Okay, I started with four. Okay, 240. I said four. I started with 258 USD. You understand? Is it 258? Yeah, 258 USD. So the first day, which was last week, the first day, I was supposed to go by 270 something, 260 something. Yeah, 260 something. But I went by 270 something. To cut long story short, I'm around 482 now, which normally I'm supposed to be around maybe 41 or no, 380 something by my 5%. So the thing is, so the excess on top of it, you understand? The excess on top of it, you can be withdrawing during the challenge. Our goal is to follow the one you do on your compounding plan, because the compounding plan, you're supposed to mail it to yourself so you can download and see. Okay, that's talking about withdrawal. But for me, I think you just have to undergo that necessary evil. The money will be withdrawn eventually. It may just take time for the first time, because the good thing is that they will assign you a financial manager when you start withdrawing up to $1,000. You have that you correspond with. You understand? So you can even send an email that say, I've just made a withdrawal, please. I want it fast. I need it fast. And you hear something like, okay, don't worry, they will put it in priority. Weekends are always with massive withdrawal, so the queue is always longer. Blah, blah, blah. In the end, we get our money. So that's what I see. Except there's a broker out there that is different, but I think from what I've seen so far, I hope you can hear me, right? Everybody's silent. Hello, Coach Manuel, are you there? Oh my God.
Yes, I can hear. I was trying to look for one other complaint. Someone says so I can.
Okay.
About withdrawing, yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. So that's any complaint they have. I think with an email, especially that's the first time. If it's the first time, with an email they do that. Then another thing is, you see, there's this digital signature that they always ask people to do when you after funding your account. You have to be careful, okay? So don't do your normal signature on that thing. Just do your initials. Take a snapshot of that thing, so you can see how you did it. Because of course, it's not convenient doing that thing. Be different from the way. So next time you want to do it, maybe sometimes they will ask you to do it again just to confirm you are doing of the account. One of my person lost her money, or I won't say lost. She's still on it anyways. Because of that, she can't remember. She could not remember what she did last time, exactly how it went. But she knew it was a signature she was trying to do. Just because of that, they still tell her to do, and they can't show her how it looks, but they want to be sure she's the owner of the account. So her money is just hanging all this while. She's just trading on it. She doesn't know whether to, you know. So there are many things that we look out for. So I think for now, that's just from experience. All the people that I've seen, they withdraw. I make sure I follow up everything that is happening. Any other question? See, guys, let me tell you the truth. Everything in life comes with its own challenges. Abba. Even sorry, this is spiritual thing, like religious or maybe spiritual. Even when you talk about God's kingdom, when you are born again, you have to deny yourself some things, isn't it? But you are doing it for the bigger cause because you know where you are going and what you want to get, right? So the same thing when you want to have a baby. Oh my God, you want to be called a mother, you want to be called a father. For example, you want to be called a mother, you have to go through 9 month issue and life and death events to get that baby. So anytime you have that baby, you know what you went through. But why are you going through that thing? Because the joy of the motherhood, the joy of being called a mother, The father, for you to be a father, okay, they've defined it now that a father is everybody who can give, who can impregnate a woman, and, but the dad, okay, that's the name for the one who can take care of the responsibility. For you to be a dad now, you have to work very hard, so hard to make sure that your family is provided for. So you see, everything that is good comes with all this. So I Am Academy comes with its own challenge. So what's the challenge in I Am Academy? People will say, okay, I blow my account. That is not even I Am Academy's challenge. It is yours. The only thing you say is I Am Academy's challenge is if they don't have good scanners, good educators, and people are not making money from the trading and all that. The IBO is straightforward. You do this, you get this. There's no hanky panky. You can do it. So tell me, somebody has not still told me one thing that is wrong with I Am Academy. So because if you are with I Am Academy and you cannot succeed, I wonder where else. Well, apart from people who don't care about their credibility, like Ponzi schemes and all that, you know. So for me, I'm not sentimental. Whether I'm just saying that this is the only thing that gives you power. It puts your power in your hand. I mean, don't you know that trading by yourself and making money by yourself is something that you are developing a skill. It's called skill acquisition program, not just making money. If I keep talking about this thing, I can talk about it for like 3 days non-stop because a lot of undiscovered, opportunity, hidden, golden opportunities. So I pity those who quit. Do you know what? Most of the people that have, I laugh. Most of the people that have left, like in my team, that will leave, they will stop subscribing. Do you know what? They will leave, but they cannot leave. They will be peeping and believing. They will be peeping and believing. When they peep a lot, they will come back and subscribe 1 month again, and then they leave. I was just like, and then when they leave, I see their status, I see where they go. Nothing is changing. Like, not that they have a better place to go, but they know the laziness of learning and following the instructions. They say follow the path of those who are fortunate and you become fortunate. But you know what? People just want to do anyhow. They don't want to follow. You call someone your mentor, but you're not doing what they are doing. Well, sometimes some mentor actually torment. Like they are not really mentors. I mean, when I say mentor, somebody who is not subscribing, somebody who is not trading, somebody who is not doing anything in the academy and is calling himself a mentor, or somebody who is jumping from Paul to Peter, jumping from this Ponzi scheme, another network today, another network tomorrow. Those are not mentor. It's just like a mother giving birth to children in this house, and then see another man follow the other man, leave these children here, and then give birth to another children there. You see another man follow the other man. Will you call that one a mother? That one is a mother, isn't it? So you look at all these things. There's a lot of things you do. So you need to check yourself, change things, and then duplicate because see, it's like a photocopy machine. Whatever a photocopier, right? Whatever you write on the paper, remember, the duplication will happen. So you to duplicate the paper with that same thing you've written. So you have to be sure what you are writing before you start duplicating. The same thing, you have to be sure what you are before you start duplicating yourself. Because who you are is who you attract. And who you attract, my dear, you're going to duplicate a lot of them. So if you are a headache yourself, so you have a lot of headache around you, then you'll be calling Coach Iwadela as Panadol, paracetamol, come and kill me. Guys, any questions? So go to sleep. I mean, when I say sleep, sleep on dreams. Coach, anyone? Any question? I want us to start the 90 days. How many of us, this group now, started our 90 days game plan? How many of us here have started our 90 days game plan? Anyone? If you have started, can I see you? Okay, you started today. Good, good. That's my friend. Thank God. I like calling your name. Thank God. All right. Oh, you haven't. LB, you need to start that. Mayor, okay, yes, good. You have started. You know why you need to start? Your story, you need to be part of the story. We're going to create we're going to create something big. Okay, I'm starting this week. Okay, okay. We need to start. I tell you, I'm excited about it. Oh, please, I will need the video. I need to be trading on my own. Oh, you've not been here all the while, right? Don't worry. Okay, well, yeah, we're making a video. Sorry, guys, we're making a video of this. Okay, Coach LB will be helping us with that. Okay, we're making a video. Coach Manuel, I think you can tell the group that. Can you tell us that? Tell us more about that, right? About the video we'll be making. Yeah, I get network.
Yeah, he's asking for the recording of this anyway. But yeah, and the trainings, we'll be having trainings like Tuesdays, Thursdays. So, and we'll have a video mostly for your newbies. so that when they come in, they can also, get the same knowledge that you've gotten in this class. But yeah, I'll send the video to the group.
Yeah. So you want to make that video so even if you are new yourself and you don't know how to take care of your team, all you just do is to recommend them to watch that video. They will learn everything that you know, and then you can make money together. You get want to do the academy like how we do in school. Everything is already programmed. The moment you do your registration and all that, you know the syllabuses, you know your class, you know the faculty you are, you know the department, you know everything. Your HOD know his own job, your lecturer, everybody, your class governor, wherever, everybody knows their so everything is working normal because everybody knows their duties. Okay, so that's what we want to do here too. So and then you can look at yourself and set a goal for yourself that 4 months time, this is where I want to be. And now with this 90 days game plan, 4 months is something good for you. Now you can say 4 months now I'm going to be rich. Well, look at the car, you buy it, forget. And that will remind you not to be lazy about it. So that's that. What else am I missing though? Is there anything that I said I would say in the beginning that I've not said? I think I said everything already. Okay, yeah. I've said it. The discipline, the strategy, and then the MLM. Remember the momentum formula, right? We have to use these things somehow. After all, we only study them. We're not using them to make money. I'm not using them to make money. I said, let me bring it to IM today now.
Mayor, which of the groups are you on? Who sent you this link? How did you get this link? Which group did you click on this link from? Mayor.
You're welcome. Mayor, okay, maybe Mayor can I?